guys. Looks like we are got a lovely clear night tonight. Zen and Harko, you still in there? Waiting patiently. We're going to have a clear night tonight, so we are going to be doing a live UFO, a UAP, a Skywatch. And we are coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of crop circle country, just down the road from Stonehenge. So lots of weird and mysterious things in the skies. Keep your eyes peeled. There's lots of movement there flying across the screen. Some faint ones. We'll zoom in a bit of there, but I'm sure there'll be some bigger, brighter ones there that are going to be more interesting. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled as we are looking for the strange and anomalous tonight live there. We'll zoom in on the good stuff. Let us know the grid there. How you doing, Carl? When's your holiday again? You did say, and I've totally forgotten there. Ben's in as well. Galaxy Watcher, or where are you joining us from tonight? Good to have you in there. So yeah, we are looking out for the strange and anomalous in the night sky. There, UFOs, UAP, anything there that jumps out to us to be something a little bit more interesting than one of the many, many satellites that are up there. Ben, thank you for the likes. Appreciate that, guys. It is the likes and shares that helps reach more and more like-minded people. And good evening, Ben. ALP is in as well. And Unaki, loving the name there. How are you doing? It's one of my keen theories around this. Should we zoom in on some of this stuff here we've got? Oh, that's a nice bright one.
Zoom mode activated.
Zoom mode, this one here. Look at that one. Big, bright and fast. Now, for us to tell that apart from one of the many, many satellites up there, if that is a UFO, what we need to see it do is to see it change its course, change its speed, change its trajectory, something like that, to do something that a satellite just cannot do, and that will tell us for sure that we're looking at something slightly more anomalous. As I zoom back out, keep your eyes on it there as it goes off the screen. Same for all of the other ones that we're going to see tonight there. So we'll zoom in on the good stuff there. Evening A up and Grim, how are you doing there? Or early hours on Friday. Carl, I'm going to totally forget by next Friday, right? And and then I'm going to be on Friday going, where's Carl gone? I'm so used to you seeing your name pop up first time, Carl. I think I'm going to have a panic because I will totally forget. There. The sky looks stunning. It does, but sadly the settings are playing up ever so slightly. And it is a little bit brighter than it normally is, but it just means that it's not as pretty there. But as it gets a little bit darker, we will get a little bit more of that contrast in. And we can see plenty of action that is going up there. Up on the screen there tonight. Yes, so keep your eyes peeled there. Hello, Kate, you've been taken away by the aliens and you're off on your adventure there. Hope you've got your passport or it'll be a lot of probing. So yeah, if you're just joining us tonight, guys, we are doing a live UFO, a UAP, a Skywatch, searching the stars. They're hoping to see something a bit strange, and if we keep our eyes peeled, I'm sure we will. Most nights we get the camera out, we do see something a little odd, because we're said coming to you live from crop circle country, no, that way, Sam, here in the UK, which is right in the heart of, which is in Wiltshire, just down the road from Stonehenge as well. So a very ancient and mysterious landscape, a long history with the phenomena and for the weird and wonderful. So keep your eyes peeled and say we'll zoom in on the good stuff. There's lots of little movement on the screen there. If you can, zoom in and keep an eye on it. There. Rachel, thank you for the shares, and I see the hearts popping up as well there. Grim as well, thank you for the gifts, as that all goes back into the stream there, helping us improve what we do. So that big bright purple one there, that is not a star, that is Jupiter, our neighbour in our solar system there, but most of the others, oh, and Grim there, thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks guys.
Yeah, so most of what we're seeing tonight, those dots are stars like our sun, different sizes, different temperatures and things like that, but nonetheless they are big fusion reactions in the night sky there. You can see that one, those two there coming across over on TikTok. You see those two moving? Yeah, so they're all going to have their own planets around them, and therefore all many opportunities for life there. Rachel, how you doing? Coming in with the shares, thank you for that. And Kate too. It is those likes and the shares, guys, that does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves there. Tick is in as well, thank you for the gifts there. And Ken is in there. How is Denmark today? Good to have you in. And Raf, I can't read it out, but hello there. What's that there? Tinfoil hat, wearing radio signal, listening down. Okay, I can't. You're going to get me banned again there. How are you doing, though, Raf there? And good evening. Always a pleasure, and rightly so. It's a pleasure for us to have you there. Rachel, how is it at the minute? Have you had any communication, or do you have any sort of feelings there from your visitors? So yeah, if you're just joining us, say we're looking out for UFO, UAP, all of the things, the strange things that might be going on in our night sky. We're getting some movement, but remember there are a lot of satellites, a lot of man-made things up there that we're going to see tonight, because what happens is that now we're getting into the summertime. The sun, although it has gone round for us here on the surface of the Earth and it is dark, it is night, those things are a little bit off the surface there within orbits, within our atmosphere or low Earth orbit there. They are still far enough out to catch that sunlight and reflect it back to us. And that is why we're seeing all these illuminated dots in the night sky. But being a man-made satellite or a UFO, so it's going to reflect that light back very similarly. So we have to pay attention and we have to see by its behaviour there if it potentially is something strange. I mean, it could still will be something strange there, but we're not going to know for sure until it does something strange. Oh, just the usual there, and playing The Sims while watching. Oh, Rachel, I downloaded it in the end. I downloaded The Sims 1 and 2. And I am tempted, but you know that you wouldn't see me if I do get into it then. And then again, I haven't been doing much meditation. I should get back into it. Oh, honestly, that is so familiar for different reasons. I'm often told, you know, like if you meditated, if you took some time to breathe, I would be a little bit less stressed. And then I come to the end of the week and God, I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed. Have you meditated? Have you breathed? Have you taken a moment? No, I keep forgetting. There, and all good there. Oh, 11-hour shift pattern. That is right. I don't know how you do it there. That would mess me up as something chronic there, zombified at the moment. Well, you can just chill out and keep your eyes on the skies. I'll tell you what, Raf, for you, I'll leave the tracker off tonight there. And Dazzy, thank you for the gifts as well. I appreciate all those guys, gifts, the subs, the patrons, the things like that. They do help us. They improve the stream and what we are doing. How is everyone's weekend going tonight? There, what are we, Saturday? God, it goes so fast, doesn't it? But we've got lots of movement on the screen. I can see 2, I think, moving at the second. And as the night goes on, we'll probably start to see less. But that is also our opportunity to start seeing less satellites, but then more craft that may be emitting light rather than reflecting it. So we've mentioned this earlier, that a lot of what we're going to be seeing is that reflected sunlight bouncing off of whatever it is flying around up there. But it is theorized quite strongly that the propulsion mechanisms that may be being used by some of these craft, they may actually cause the craft to be illuminated itself. They're to emit light rather than just reflective. So that can be one of those potential signatures that we can look out for. Let's zoom in on this dull one here, shall we?
Zoom mode activated.
So it's quite dull, especially with the contrast on the camera here, but nonetheless it is something moving across the night sky. Is it one of those, where's it gone? Many satellites that are going to be up there? Well, until it said it does something strange, we are not going to be able to tell it apart. Nice yellow there, that one there, nice purple. Some of the colours, getting some greens in here as well, is absolutely amazing. Can't turn the brightness down anymore at the second, which is very frustrating. But keep your eyes on these objects that are moving. Even if they've just gone straight across the screen whilst we've been watching it, it doesn't mean it's not going to change its course, its speed, its trajectory at the last minute. And that is going to be the slam dunk for us there. We need ET to realise he's left the gas on. He's left his favourite probe behind and turns around on the screen there. Grim, thank you for the gifts as well. And keep overthinking it. They could be the Greys, but I keep getting no, we are absolutely not. Yeah, is that offensive to them? Of course, the Greys. We hate those guys. And Kate, mine's peachy. My new meds make me vomit. Oh God, it's one thing after another, Kate, isn't it? Do you reckon it's just that they're all settled down? Is it an adjustment, or is it just the nature of those meds? There, and Ben, oh, you missed that. Oh, D all the way down, but went straight up. Damn it, Ben, that was a good one. Oh, I missed it. That is exactly what we are looking out for tonight. Here's some nice bright ones. Let's zoom in on those.
Zoom mode activated.
It's a nice, big, bright, fast one. Following it across the screen there. So again, we need to see it do something strange. Keep your eyes on that one. There's another one coming in here as well. So if it is a satellite, roughly speaking, the bigger it is, the brighter it is, the closer it is there to, oh my God, to reflect more light back to us. So it can tell us something about its orbit and where it is up there in the night sky. I'd like to set this straight with me. There. Hold on. Back again. There we go. Oh, it's a little bit darker. Hope it's just a joke. Well, fingers crossed for that. How long do you reckon it'll take for those ones there? And they sound scary when they say it. They don't. Oh, It does sound like they don't like being called the Greys. So, guys, if you are joining us, do say hello there. If you're new here, let us know where you're watching from tonight there. And if you've got an account like Rachel there, if you've got a relationship of some sort with the phenomena, we'd love to hear about that as we're waiting for the action to come here, to happen on a screen. It shall happen at some point. It always does when we get the camera out. These guys are alive. Not with the sound of music, Kate, but with activity that is highly, highly strange there. Oh, about a week there, and then they settle down. At least that's how the others went out. Fingers crossed, it's a good guide. So hopefully that'll settle out for you there, and there'll be some benefit to there. We are the Octurians there, nothing like the Greys. Yeah, that does sound like they do not like it. And it's interesting that there is that similar emotional thing. So these beings, that they may be far more advanced for us there, but there's a human quality to that, isn't there? Oh, don't put me in the same box as those. I like that. Too late, already sang. We'll release a Christmas album there, Kate. All of the hits. We'll get Alan to sing them. Oh, look, we've got 1, 2, 3. They're quite faint. Look, 1, 2, and then 3. This isn't a smaller one, but it's brighter there. Look at this. It's a bit of green coloration to it. So colour can be of interest too. There's a lot of things that satellites do occasionally which look weird, but they're still possible for a satellite to do. Coloration, flashing, and things like that. But it really does help us to potentially identify if there is something else strange there. Again, that coloration is a key one there. Orange, reds, things like that are very, very interesting to us, because green can be caused, I believe, there. Harko, hello. You're over on the Twitch tonight. I only saw that one there. Only a few terawatts there to send our signal back. Oh, speaking of orange, guys. Oh, damn it, it's just faded out. Now, this is an interesting one here, right? Coming into shot. You can just about barely see it there. Where's it gone? I can't even see it on the... Blood. Oh no, there it is. Ah, right, there we go. Right, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Look, it's flashing, and it's flashing orange. It's flashing in there, almost imperceptible. There it is, and it will come back in. Look, there we go. Oh, now it's flashing white. Oh, that's near miss there. Coming orange again. Right, we've got an anomaly. Oh, come on, go back to the bastard thing. Where is it? There it is. Right, there it is. So, very interesting. Look at that one. Satellites can appear to flash there. Things up there that are reflective as they rotate. The more reflective side, the larger side, or maybe a solar panel there, catches the light on its rotation there. Goes bright, goes dim, goes bright, goes dim. But this is flashing away like that, and it's changing colours. So that is very interesting. That is such a strong brightness there, because any colour changes with this reflected light, it should basically just be like a white light there. It's the sun's light reflected back. But when we get in the colour changes, you know, it's hard to argue that those deep oranges we were seeing at the beginning are to do with the atmosphere, because that's the only other thing there, that the light as it comes back to us interacts with our atmosphere. Where's it gone now? There it is. Interacts with our atmosphere and kind of sometimes can give us a bit of coloration, normally to the green. Oh, look, there's another one shooting up there. But this is giving us orange, which is very weird. And literally, as we were just saying, orange is an interesting one because... Where is that fucker? There it is. Orange is interesting because they do theorise that rather than reflecting light back, the craft might use a propulsion mechanism there, sort of a warp drive that would coat the craft when used in a sort of a plasma as it reacts with our atmosphere, and that plasma is going to look to us to be very orange, reddy orange. So that can be a potential techno-signature there. Grim, thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks guys.
There, where are we? Oh, no grid. That's the point. Where is the bloody grid? The grid is on. What's going on there? Oh, it's just, I think it's just quite faint, actually, for you there. I think it's, why is it? Yeah, it's partly showing. It's playing up, Raf. Good, thank you for the heads up there, though. That was a good one, wasn't it, there? Oh, God, it is similar there. I think they just mean to stop overthinking and doubt them, like always, which, yeah, makes sense. And again, honestly, I mean, I've had a boss like that with me getting frustrated with it. There is a commonality there, isn't it? And Hubs is swapping his PS for an Xbox next week, so I can play a Sea of Thieves. Well, excellent. We're going to get the crew together there, and what we're going to do. I saw a really brilliant thing that you can do. If you hide on people's pirate ships and Sea of Thieves there, apparently you can do it, and you wait for them to do all the hard work and the challenges. You just hang around on board, hiding. And then at the last minute, once they've got the treasure, you then blow up their pirate ship and nick the chest. I think we need to do that to Pete there. And Hornby there, 3 a.m. outing for me there to capture the comet pan-stars. Now, that is phenomenal there. You don't need the aliens necessarily, do you, to find just space beautiful and interesting and fascinating there. Now, that sounds fascinating. We haven't done a comet on this stream yet, which is very frustrating. Blue Nose, how you doing? Thank you for the gift there as well. All goes back into the stream. And Foss Buckle there. I caught some weird blinking lights a few weeks ago there. Probably drones and videos on your page. Oh, I'll try and remember to have a look at that one. Thank you for sharing that one. Where in the world was it? In this day and age, there is lots of things. Just like tonight, we're going to steal this movement, and a lot of that is going to be satellites there, a lot of those Starlink ones, but not all of it. There is some interesting things in the sky still there, and thank you for the follow, matey. Where are you joining us from there? Captain Blue Nose is in. So you can see, oh yeah, the TikTok, the grid is there, but over on the tubes, it is there, but it's really faint for some reason, and I have no idea why there. Yeah, I don't know why it's in the. If you look in the top left of the screen, you can kind of see the D1 of it there. And Webster, bacon or egg there. Always giving me good advice. Oh, that is a tough one. Why not both there, Webster? Hey, cowboy hat. Thank you there, Blue Nose. Hat on. There, and I watched that happen to Pete and his crew. So I was like, oh. Now, that would be hilarious to see. I want to see Pete. I want to do it to Pete. There. Oh, Michigan. There were 4 to the east there, travelling low north to south. Now, very, very interesting there. So, I mean, it's very easy. It's actually hard to disprove drones. That's where the angle is. I mean, what we're doing tonight, we're lucky enough that where the camera's kind of zoomed in, looking at the night sky there, drones appear, they're quite visually distinct, same as planes. So what we're mostly left with to filter out is going to be the satellites. See, look, there's a few moving ones across the screen now. So for us to tell a satellite versus a UFO flying around there, the only thing that's going to help us there is its behavior, its movement there. Is it doing something a satellite just can't do? But it is very tricky, isn't it, with all of the stuff there? And blinking at random intervals. Now, the random intervals could be a clue there, because, I mean, things like drones, they're going to blink with their safety lights, aren't they, at regular intervals? That's part of it. But satellites, they only blink because they are rotating there. So if you imagine this object, and that's UFO, but object, see that as it rotates, it's catching the light, and it goes dark. Then it catches the light, and it goes dark. So if something's flashing a random interval there, that means its orbit there, or its rotation is randomized as well there, and that doesn't tend to happen. If a satellite decays, gets to the end of its life, it just tends to keep kind of a rhythmic pulse. It might change over a long time, but not when you're observing it there. So that could be an indicator there. They sound so genuine. I mean, it's an interesting data point, Rachel, there. And exactly, got a double up there. And why not double of each? And I think they were impressed by it. I think sometimes when somebody is that good and they get the win in, you've got to be impressed. I can't imagine Pete being, though. And I've seen similar lights in the same direction 2 other times in the past few years. Very interesting. You wonder if that... Somebody did theorise, a couple of Irish researchers have theorised, and they put a paper together on this, that there are sort of like flight corridors or equivalents for UFOs as well, and you might be able to predict their routes there. How you doing, Plane Spotter? And new session of Skinwalker Ranch this year. Oh my god, I had tried to start watching it last year, and I haven't. I got like 3 episodes in. I'm too distracted actually doing this, but I do want to see more of it there. Look at this one, nice, big, bright and fast. Oh, it's straight for Jupiter. Are we gonna? Is it gonna impact? That's not Jupiter actually. There you go. Right, keep it on the screen there. I'm going to zoom out, keep following it, because it's that movement, that change of course, speed or trajectory at the last minute there is going to tell us that we are dealing with something a little bit strange there. Back in a second, no worries there, Kate, and let's have a look there. Sort it out there, Raf. It's technology. I have no idea why it's doing it. I mean, it's a bit brighter tonight, so maybe that, but we can still see the grid clearly on TikTok. So I'm not sure why it is out there. And Darren, how you doing there? Hi, everyone. What position of the sky was this UFO? As I am going out on my in my back garden in a minute with a 4 spectrum camera. Oh, very, very interesting right there. So we are right now pointing south-southwest. Yeah, south-southwest, I think, up there. So basically, if you want, like, this... Where is it? Where's my cursor? This star here, this one there, that is Jupiter. So if you line it up, and this is the correct way up, if Jupiter there and two bigger bright ones there, then that is, you're going to see the same patch of sky that we are looking at tonight. And we are coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of crop circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. So a very strange and mysterious landscape here, long history of the phenomena. I'm going to just put some instructions. See if Leanne can turn the camera brightness down, because it's doing my nut in a little bit there. There we go. See if she'll do that one. Sometimes the software plays ball, sometimes most of the time it does not. There. Gemini, is that Gemini? One day I'll remember these, Rachel. That's a bigger bright one there as well. So look at how many stars that we have got in shot tonight. Lots of little dots there. Each one of them is, I'll see you in a bit, Rachel, each one of those is potentially a house for life there. Brad, how are you doing? Thank you for feeding out.
Nom nom nom, thanks guys.
So yeah, each one of them is a potential habitat for life, or multiple instances there. We are starting to think that within our own solar system there, it's not just the planets that can potentially support life, and not just in the habitable zone there, but many other bodies, moons, asteroids and things as well. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Leanne. It's a little bit darker, so you can see a bit more of the grid on the tubes. You should be able to now. It's a bit bright though, isn't it? At least we're getting some of that colour in now. I might even turn it down another notch there. How are you doing, Brad? What's your weekend up to? Oh, not happy. Just watched the Chelsea game. What a way to ruin the weekend there. Well, that is the thing there, Brad. As soon as you give someone your support, they can let you down there. Felt the calling to be a weirdo nerd for a second. You say as you're on the weirdo nerd stream every night. There, and Ken, in space and no one can hear you stream. Very good point. It's true there. There isn't the atmosphere. There's nothing. It's a vacuum. There's nothing for that vibration of sound to transfer, is there, across the deep space. If we could hear the sounds of the stars, we would be deafened by the sun, even at these distances there. Lorraine, D2. Let's have a look. Where is that one? There. I think I've just missed it there. But keep up the good spotting, and no worries, Darren, let us know if you spot anything there. Full spectrum camera, we would really love to do that. Technically this camera is capable of doing that, but we have to send it off to a gentleman to remove some of the filters and things and then recalibrate it, and it's been on our list to do for a year. But the phenomena is meant to be very, very active, as particularly in the infrared there, but also the ultraviolet. And for you guys who don't know, it's the either end of the color spectrum there that we don't perceive, of the light spectrum as humans, that we don't perceive there. So there could be stuff going on, and it's reported there is a lot of stuff going on in those color ranges there that we just don't see there. And Nathan, how are you doing? Where are you joining us from tonight? And Trump to release the UFO file soon. Yeah, there has actually been a few adjacent comments around this, hasn't there? One of the senators there did say that, you know, Trump he's talking about doing it, and you know, there are some indicators there, so maybe we're ahead of the curve. We're going to get to say "I told you so" to a lot of people. They're M to the C. How are you doing? Loving the stickers there. And now you can see, I'll see Discord later, this abduction story is keeping you distracted. It's going to be a full novel, Kate. And how you doing, Rio? Good to see you. How's your weekend going there? You're officially munching on chocolate buttons. Oh, Zen. I have an ongoing battle with chocolate buttons there, because Leanne always has some in the house and never eats them, and then I get desperate and I eat them now. Oh, Nathan, was it you that was talking to last night? Or the night before? Sorry if it was there. I'm normally better at remembering if it was there. You're just down the road from us there. So, do let us know if you've spotted anything, because if it was yourself that was talking to the other night, I was saying, if you had any cool sightings, we would love to hear about them as we're waiting for the action to happen on screen. So if you are just joining us, we are coming to you live from Wiltshire tonight here in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country, just down the road from Stonehenge. We are looking for UFOs, UAP, strange and anomalous. Nathan, I'll remember it now. Yeah. I remember talking to you, just forgot the name. Yeah, let us know if you've had any cool experiences. We've got some movement here. But for us to say that this is anomalous, we're going to need to see it do something strange, something a satellite just cannot do there. Need to see it stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course, its trajectory. Now, that doesn't mean if it doesn't do those things that it isn't, but we just can't say. That's why the thing hunter. Yeah, that's why I didn't recognise the name there, because you had name there. Aha. But yeah, so that is what we need to see it do. We need to see it do something strange there. And if it doesn't, I say it's not necessary that it isn't a UFO. I mean, statistically, there are a lot more satellites up there than there are going to be potential UFOs. But for us to say for sure, we need to see it display that anomalous behaviour there. You see, stop, Kate. We're going to will them. We're going to will the sightings to happen. But we have a lovely clear night, so there'll be lots of activity tonight. We already had the flashing one, didn't we? Had the orange moving flashing one. That was already interesting. In fact, I didn't press the button.
Anomalous object confirmed.
There we go. That was from the one earlier. I forgot to hit the button and confirm that one. There. But Kate, if you've not read the news lately, most of the chocolate, what was it, Penguins and Club Biscuits now, apparently, for UK lot, apparently they have so little chocolate in them now, they can't officially call them a chocolate bar, and they have to be a chocolate flavoured bar. It's one of those legal distinctions, because there is so little chocolate in them. So you're not missing out on much there, Kate. Look at some of the colours that we've got in here tonight.
Zoom mode activated.
Look at Jupiter there. Big, bright and purple. Absolutely stunning there. Oh, did you? I was trying to use it for something earlier and I'm still not happy with it. It changes nothing. Dear, tell the cravings that. They're going to have a faint movement over here. Again, probably quite far away. Oh, there's a second one there. Didn't even see that one. Very faint. But we need to see it do something strange there. We need to see E.T. realises that he's left the gas on and do an interstellar handbrake turn right on the screen. That is what we need to see happen there. Oh, funny you say that, actually. My aunt was getting absolutely no care after a serious medical incident there. No aftercare, and they're meant to. So went to ChatGPT, and yeah, absolutely amazing. Doesn't think she'd be here without it. Which says a lot of things there. Should we have a look at some of these odd stars? Let's have a look at this one in here. I mean, look at the way that the light has... No, let's go over here. The light has reflected out of this one here. Refracted, sorry. It's given us sort of this triangular formation there. And in fact, this whole cluster of stars looks a little bit triangular, doesn't it? There. Now, that isn't a traditional triangular star. That is more, I said, to do with the lens on the camera. There's a few things that we need to make sure we're not getting fooled by there. Look at these two chugging away. Again, quite small and a little bit slower than some of the others there. So that implies they're probably quite far out there. The higher up you are, if you imagine like your satellite doing a circle around the Earth, they all do roughly the same sort of speed like that, and then same speed, bigger circle, it looks to us like it's going slower there. So little rules of thumb, not exactly scientific, but it does give you a clue there as well. Oh, I've got to say, it has been extremely helpful for simplifying things. During like last year, I loved it. It was really, really good, and then they changed it and it got really, really crap there. I say way too much. It's a tool, isn't it? You know, and this thing, you know, there are going to be cases where we depend on it in situations where we shouldn't. That goes for us as individuals as well as companies and institutions there. But it is also going to be useful in a lot of other ways there. It's that early days, isn't it? It's the gold rush time. People are trying to figure it out there. And, oh, what camera FPS? Good question. I can't remember what the FPS is on the camera right now. Oh, we got a flasher. That is a very good question. The camera is a Sony A7S there, so whatever the standard. I haven't probably messed those settings. Look, we've got 1, 2, and 3 there. Now this one is kind of getting a bit brighter there. We are getting a little bit of a flash off of that one. Oh look, another one there. There's so many when you zoom in. Again, that degree of flash there is quite bright for a flash. That is probably... No, that's too bright for it to be atmospheric interactions there. So that one there looks like it is tumbling. It's rotating as it is moving, and that is therefore the shinier side is catching more light and then appearing to flash it back to us there. Ah, that's your other account. That doesn't make sense there. It does take me a second to get around because depending how busy the chats are across both of them. So yeah, I'm not sure on the FPS, but it's a Sony A7S. The trick is the lens, though, if you want to do it at home. Where are we? It's like a little pocket helper until the eyes start going red, Kate. And then, I'm sorry, Kate, I can't do that. They taught you how to build your website. honestly, some of it are very, very, very good. But like everything, you have to learn, isn't it, where where it's useful. I think in growth areas it's useful. I'd be a bit nervous of certain, you know, mission critical things there. In fact, I've mentioned this before, but I'm trying to jump ahead on this. You know, a lot of people are talking about, you know, being made redundant because of, you know, AI replacing their jobs and stuff like that. It's one thing that I'm conscious of, because a big part of my job is admin and like those sort of management tasks. So I thought, right, let's get ahead of this. Let's if I make the AI, then I'll tie it into work, and then they can't replace me because I own the AI. So I'm building something to basically take over that sort of job for me there. Oh, this is a nice, big, bright one. And the funny thing is, right, I'm running this bit of software that I'm building for that with AI, and I'm running it for like 3 months to make sure, as I do my normal admin tasks, does what I'm matching up on my normal admin tasks, does the AI come up with the same results there, you know, whether it's financial information, or whether it's reporting of analytical information, downloads and things, you know. Oh, there's another one coming in just there as well, look, passing each other. Oh, ships in the night there. Yeah, so I'm running them side by side. Yeah, don't trust the AI, stuff like that. You don't want to start reporting things wrong until you're confident that it is reasonable. The funny thing is, I've just started doing it side by side to check, and it's highlighting all of my mistakes. All of the little things that I got wrong there. Where are we there? Trying to get it to teach me the ins and outs of self-publishing. Oh, very good. Honestly, I think, you know, if you're the sort of person that knows how to ask those sorts of questions there, it can be a very, very useful tool there. But then also you're learning AI in of itself, which again is going to be a skill set that's going to be very, very valuable there. Grim, thank you for the roses there for the gifts, and Brad as well, if I didn't thank you for those. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream there. And Rachel, back, but I can't talk since my dad is in bed. No worries, Rachel. No worries. Just enjoy the night sky watching there. That's why I'm trying. It takes a while. I think the few things you got to kind of learn, and yeah, you got to learn with the thing that I'm building for you know, the bit of software there. I didn't realize, but you can change which AI model starts to write the code. So I figured out that if you get to a dead end, and it often happens, it can't quite figure something out, and you can't quite tell it how to do something. Same problem keeps persisting. You can fire your AI and hire a new one, and oh my god, it works wonders. And then they start to get complacent. So, you know, it's quite an interesting world we live in there as well. And oh, the FPS seems to be very slow there. So I think part of it is that we probably did it quite slow to let in as much light as possible. That sounds about something we might have done there, because obviously the less time that the sensor is taking in that light, the less of that light, and we're really focusing to try and get as much activity in the night sky as possible there. How you doing, Tomcat? Private Tomcat. Good to see you there. And Dominico there. I love Aliens there. Aliens, my friend there. And his ketchup, American ketchup there. Oh, does any of you guys, the Americans won't know this one, but you just got me thinking about this one, Dominico, there. That, do you remember Wimpy's own brand ketchup? That was brilliant. I went in and I said, I just want the ketchup once. It's absolutely brilliant there. Oh, that cluster though, my god, it looks really pretty there. M13, that one. So this is the one I think we keep having conversations about. So it's the one we was talking about the other night, and people had different ideas. Ugh. Look at how densely packed all of these stars are. Wimpy's burger sauce. You know what? I don't even know if I've tried that one. I'm a big fan of Wimpy there. There isn't much, zoom in too much. You can never get too much, Rachel. Yeah. It was brilliant. Then they started just using Heinz. They've gone back to an own brand. I don't know if it's the same own brand, though. But we don't have a Wimpy in the West Country. Oh, that's a nice bright one. Let's zoom in on this one. But not too much, Rachel.
Zoom mode activated.
I'm going to zoom in too much. There we go. Let's keep an eye on this one. Big, bright and fast. A little bit of a glow on it there. We just need to see it do something strange. Keep your eyes on it as it moves across the night sky there. Got another one there. Got another faint one there. Faint one up here. Oh, another little faint one coming in the sides there. Oh, and there as well. Lots of activity tonight. Now, you've got to pay attention, because it is going to be that last minute change that tells us that it is going on there. I swear McDonald's robbed Wimpy's burger sauce for Big Macs there. I may well have there. I'm a big fan of McDonald's curry sauces. You know what, when I first got my first flat, I moved out. I had one of those beer fridges. And I went into the local McDonald's and I said, here's 20 quid. Give me all of the curry sauce sachets that I can buy for 20 quid. And I filled that fridge up. I fucking love that sauce. There, and all the cluster is absolutely stunning, isn't it? There, oh, C3, Brad. C3, lots of activity there. Well, good on that one. Again, B3 to C3 there. Where are we? B. So I've got to look at the other screen. So that one's going. Oh, hello. Hold on. Always gets me going. Okay, right. So there we go. This is obviously the aliens invading. Now this will be a plane. Should we have a look at flight radar? Tell us who that is and where they are going. But see what I mean? Planes are very distinctive to what we you know, when we're spotting the other stuff there. So let's have a look. See who that one is. Where they are off to. Oh, go away. I don't want to upgrade. I'm not paying your money, flight radar. Oh, that one is Belgium Air Force. Oh, okay. Is that a Hercules? Yep. Oh, no, it's an Airbus A400M Atlas there that's travelling. We are in a bit of a military busy area there, but this way you get to see it, see what that all looks like there. The colours, I know, I do love it when the stars start to, the colours coming out there. And Dominico there, thank you for the follow, good to have you in. Where are you joining us from tonight? And the light coming off that one is unreal, but it is real. I know. Oh, I can hear the plane coming over my head now. Bit of a delay there, lag. It's extreme. They're good spotting, Brad. Hopefully I'll be able to catch up soon. I can see a few faint ones. I'm looking for that strange movement there. The colours are awesome. And then it's me. We circled back to the signal. Okay, if you get abducted and you don't circle back to show off on stream so we can get a little bit of a boost, I'll be very, very disappointed there. Oh, on plane there, Dominic. You were fast on that one. It was, yeah. And did you hear about the two air pilots making cat noises at each other over the radio? No, this is a joke. Okay, I have a question for everyone. Did anyone get to try the Szechuan sauce in YK? So it was. I remember this from years ago, right, as the most delicious burger that McDonald's ever made, which was the McRib. The first time that come round in '98 or something, and that had the sauce from that. And then it got popular, didn't it, from Rick and Morty recently, but they didn't release it over here because I remember that being absolutely amazing. There, are you trying it there? The meow pilots. What? The meow pilot, is that a real thing? Not a joke there. And let's have a look there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Exactly, Raf, though. We do appreciate that, guys. We are doing a live UFO UAP at Skywatch tonight, coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country, just down the road from Stonehenge. We're seeing lots of interesting things in the night skies. So keep your eyes peeled. We're going to zoom in on the most interesting, the good stuff there. So do give us a follow. We do this every night, pretty much. If it's clear, we're doing the Skywatch. If it's cloudy, we do an alien radio. No, that's the wrong one. We do an alien radio signal hunt there. We look on what's called the hydrogen line. And that is the channel on the radio dial where scientists theorize we are most likely to hear a message from ET, should they be out there, or if the moon is up. There we go, that's what that looks like. We hunt for some weird things going on off and around the moon, so we want you to join our little team there. And Simon, thank you for the gift there, appreciate that. All goes back into the stream there. And Nathan, it doesn't work like that with FPS there. Oh, okay, it needs to be higher there. It looks like you're on 20 FPS, it should be 60 there. I have 87 there, still set up for Astro filming at night there, depending on the aperture. Okay, yeah. Awesome. Okay, I'll try that one because I was thinking of FPS as exposure and things like that, but I'll have to give that a try there. Thank you for the tip, because I have noticed it, especially with shooting stars. You can tell we've definitely got the frame rate quite low, because when you see a shooting star, you mostly see it just kind of appear as the full line on the screen, which is basically, you know, it's that one snapshot that it has taken. It's just appeared there. You're not seeing the whole trace of it there. And a lot of these are, you know, you see them, the faster ones are drawing as lines and things like that, rather than the precise dots there. And Mini Whoop, how are you there? Oh, why not just put to them along at the bottom there? We can monitor all. So on the tubes, I have thought about this. I do like the idea of doing both at the same time. But on the tubes, we've got loads of real estate for that, but when we're on TikTok, which is our business platform, doesn't have it there as well. But we are going to look at ways to do it, so it's not a bad idea. Where are we in the chat on this side of there? Raffis teacher's pet brings me an apple every day. I got to try it, and it was seriously the best thing I've ever eaten. Oh man, I just remember, I don't remember what it tastes like, I just remember going, that is the most delicious thing I've ever had. So I wonder if it'll hold up. I'm sure it would there. Now the only sauce I like is their curry sauce. Curry sauce is amazing there, but I remember it being better there. And Freeman, how are you doing? How's your weekend going? There. And Joseph, how are you too? Good to see you in there. Venus and the crescent moon this evening there. Stunning sight. I wonder if we'll catch it if we spin the camera around. Oh, that was a bright one just going. I might have caught that on the other side of the screen there. I missed it there. Didn't spot anything good today. We've had one that was flashing, but flashing orange, which is very interesting. Again, it's not slam dunk anomalous, but it does put it, especially when you compare it to all the other ones that we see here. Like example, this one here. As far as we know, that's just a satellite there reflecting that sun's light back as it's traveling at a consistent speed, at a consistent trajectory there. But imagine that flashing bright orange. It would start to be curious there. Lots of them look like that, so why do some look very, very different indeed there, especially when orange is considered to be, that's a nice bright little star there, orange is considered to be a sign of the potential warp drive being used there. Some very clever people, some scientists have figured out what these theoretical warp drives would look like if being used, what their effect on our atmosphere and our world would be. And they said that it would probably coat the craft in a layer of ionized plasma, so it'd be glowing bright orange or a reddy orange there, so that could be a giveaway if we start to see that orange color there. Green as well can be, but also with green we have to consider the atmospheric interactions as well. That can be a part for the green. There, I had a McGriddle breakfast the other day there when I was being self-destructive. Oh, the McDonald's breakfasts, they are something else, aren't they? Oh, it's no longer visible, Rachel. No worries with that. And it was nice, but I missed Wednesday. It is yeah, it is. How you doing there, Jolly? What are your opinions on the fake moon orbit Artemis comedy show? I mean, I'm open to people. Lots of people are skeptical of that one, which is quite interesting. But I don't know why they would bother. Why would they fake it? It's a very expensive, high-risk situation for very little reward. There. And look up at the stars and not down at your feet. It's a good one there. It's I think we do spend a lot of time, don't we, looking down for various reasons there. There was an interesting point that was made that, you know, post the Industrial Revolution, that's the word, Sam. Brad, thank you for the gifts. Post-Industrial Revolution, humanity has got so disconnected from nature, from the skies there, because of all of the light pollution and the smoke and the smog. We're just so disconnected from the stars. And I know that even in this day and age there, seeing a really clear night sky and all of that activity up there, all of the beautiful stars and things, it can still hit home, even in this day and age there, where we know roughly a lot of what is going on. Personally, so moving here to the country from, you know, a more urban, light polluted area, just looking up at the night sky, it took my breath away there. So I can totally see that as a culture, we have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the screen there at one time. 7, Jesus, that's a very busy patch. I can see that could have some sort of cultural effect on us there. How you doing, Rosetta? How is your weekend? We've got some space bees. We have it is alive tonight there. That's my 1 minute timer. There you go, a faint one there, a little faint one coming off the screen there. Beautiful, beautiful cluster here. This is a bit of a brighter one. Let's zoom in on this one. Again, it's not doing anything strange just yet. Sorry, guys. Need to zoom out properly so you can see it. Oh, look, another one coming just up there as well. the skies are alive. And again, we're not fully seeing everything at 1, 2, 3 there. We are just seeing the ones that are at the right altitude to still be reflecting that sun's light back to us there. The skies are absolutely alive. They're only going to get busier. Wow, that's a bright one. Hold on. Can we get that one? Look at that one, just coming off the edge of the screen. Look how big and bright and fast that one was. Shame we couldn't catch that one for longer. There. So much activity in the night skies. Where are we there? We just won against Chelsea. So I'm delighted. Who was it earlier that was it you, Brad, or was it Ben? That's upset about that loss there. Oh, it was Brad. Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Oh, here's another bright one. Hello. And let's see, you see all those faint ones, and then you get one like this. Now, the main explanation is going to be that that one is either larger, therefore more surface area to reflect that light back, or it is closer, and therefore, you know, that light that is reflected, you know, more of it reaches us here, so it appears to be brighter. There we go. Let's let that come into shot. Just going past that wonderful cluster there. Now, there are variations on that. But you can imagine you see it stop dead. Look, there it is in the middle, guys. Oh, look at that one flare up. Oh, this is a flasher. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking cursor. Where's it gone? So this was on just flashed up. Is it going to come back? Ah, it's not doing it now. Well, you just see a nice big flare. Keep your eyes on those. I said we only need to see it do something strange at that last minute there. Just one little turn, one little stopping dead there. Oh, look, it's got a friend coming in. It'll be coming through C1 the second there. You see it any moment on TikTok. So if you want to see a bit more of the sky, guys, the tubers get a much better view. It's up the right way there, but my little camera box is smaller. So yeah, as you see there, you can see more of the night sky and the action. Hold on. That's... Hold on. The camera's just sorted its shit out. That's... Hold on. This is how it's meant to look, but we're having trouble with the settings there. Alpha... Oh, right, I have to go change it. Give me a second there, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Bloody thing. It will be better, though. Alan, you take over.
It's me, Alan, the real star of the show.
There we go. Oh! Much better. Oh. There we go. Nice. Oh, look at the colours and some of those stars now, guys. Let me catch up with the chat there. Dylan, do you believe in other life on different planets? And what planets do you speculate has life? Dylan, brilliant question. So everybody else is going to have to wait whilst I answer this one because it's a long one, but it's really, really bloody interesting. Got those stairs. Give me 2 seconds. so unfit. So 100% to that question, there has got to be life on other planets. Now, the reason that that wasn't a definite, why many people didn't quite know, or the scientific community wouldn't go that far, was because we didn't know if there were other planets around all of those other stars. All those little dots that we're looking at there, is there even other planets around them? But with our modern technology, we can detect a lot, not all of them, but a lot of the planets around this. We do speculate there's going to be planets around those other stars, which means just statistically life is going to be out there. Even the mainstream scientific belief is that life is going to be abundant. They won't say that it's complex, they won't say that there's civilizations, but it does look to be the case that life is probably going to be very, very abundant there. Brad, thank you for the gifts. So it's just a numbers game now. There are lots of, even that James Webb has now detected, it's disputed, as these always are, but it's a Cambridge team thinks that they have got multiple detections of gases around those distant exoplanets, around one particular distant exoplanet there, which as far as we know, that gas can only be made here on by life here on Earth. So we do think that we are detecting those biosignatures around lots of those planets. In fact, in that part of the scientific community that is studying those atmospheres of those distant planets, apparently they've got so many of these potential detections of all of these biosignatures, they think life is absolutely abundant. We don't have the technology yet with our telescopes to 100% confirm that we are detecting the gases we think we're detecting, so that's why it hasn't been pushed over the line, but it is looking like it is absolutely abundant out to there. And then you look to our own solar system, and obviously here on Earth we've got a hell of a lot of life, but also if you look to Mars, then it looks like there's microbial life still there. Same with Venus. It looks like it's going to be absolutely everywhere there. You love TikTok. I love TikTok. Stop swearing. I can't, especially when it goes wrong. There. Where are we? Got the grid back. It's just dark enough now. The technology is eventually falling into play there. And Alan, the clone, said she's released all your alien pets on Mars. He hasn't had alien pets in months. He says, as long as it's not his search history that's been released, Kate. Where are we? Scroll down there. Over on the... Oh, that's a nice big bright one. We'll start zooming in again. I've got up on the chat there. And your opinion is a rocket can achieve 22,500 miles an hour to escape velocity within 60 miles. And kinetic heating only applies on a re-entry there. So an opinion is not a science there. Well, I think there is scientific equations for that one. Now, are they wrong? Are they lying? That's open to it there. But, yeah, I think we can. I think got the maths on that one. And remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet there. Try to make sense of what you can see and wonder about what makes the universe exist there and be curious. I think 100% that we do spend a lot of time, don't we, looking down rather than looking up there. The stars are very interesting, especially if you compared refractor there, astronomical telescopes with a modern digital zooms tech. I'm interested in that argument there because I think, I don't know if I'll go as far as you'd say there, but there is a lot of interesting anomalies that people do see and observe with those things, which get accounted for other things there. And Chris there, I can't even imagine what's lurking in those ocean worlds. Chris, 100% there. Can we even conceive of how strange, how truly alien the universe is going to be there? I think we can only, as humans, we can only go a couple of steps from what we know, can't we? There to have a truly original thought is actually very, very difficult there. So until we start to see things, then we'll to conceive them. The first people that step foot here and there, they're going to have an interesting time, I think. I was listening to one astronomer. He works for NASA, quite credentialed, still in the system. He's not one of these people that's made a statement and then come out of it. Been shunned. I think people do try to shun him, but he's so respected in other areas there. And he was saying that, and this really caught me off guard because of who he was, that if you look at those very few pictures that we have of the surface of Venus, he said you could make an argument that we are potentially in those images seeing some crustacean-based life form. So there might be something much more complex, even on somewhere as inhospitable as Venus. And no, there, whatever is under the sea is none of my business. I feel in that rose out of there. Ooh, sea is scarier than space. All right, something about the water. There. Okay, back soon, just being a referee. Oh, the ferals fighting there. Ethan's in. How are we doing now? We haven't got the language for what we will find, on other words. 100% actually. I like a very big agree with that. And Ethan, thank you for the gift there. Appreciate that. Gift subs, patrons do go all back into the stream. I think you're right there, because language isn't just the words to label things. They are complex structures, they are processes, they are everything is just condensed into a word. It's a little it's a function, isn't it there? So if I was to say go make dinner, that's 3 words, and within that there are several different processes, aren't there? And that's like a little bit of software that you can execute there. You don't have to think of every step, you just execute that task. You'll unconsciously go to your side table there, pull out your knives and forks, and you know where to put them on the table. You don't have to think about it. You will just do those things. So language stacks on itself, much like computer code there. You'll have the different layers and the different subsystems built on other things there. It's a mind-bending way. It's very, very interesting, I think, to it there. Even that is a star cluster. I can't remember what he said. Was it M13, Rachel? M50? Something like that. And Rosetta, Jason, Japan runs on 3 different types of language there. I find it fascinating there what that could mean, and how the mind works there. They say, don't they, about Chinese is actually really efficient. You can describe things in less syllables. And again, it's not just the words. These are little, if you think of them as little bits of software, you know, I've downloaded the software to make dinner. I've downloaded the software. It takes all of those 1,000 individual steps that if you're then trying to explain that to someone who hasn't got that bit of software, you have to break it down to the individual steps. You know, you're writing those lines of code. You know, it's not just the words we use to send information to one another. They are like executable bits of things there. That was it. Especially the contrast is very, very bright. Asian X is in. How are you doing? Thank you for the heart there. Andrea Barnes there, well-respected explorer, has been has been mentaled from history. Is that the one of the scientists of recently? The name's ringing a bell. Go away, TikTok. I am here. Completing your little fucking puzzles. Where are we there? And so the words translate to pictures that effectively give vibes for what you're saying. That is really cool. Language is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I saw something like 10 minutes ago when I was taking pictures, and there was something going across there. Oh, what sort of thing was it? Do let us know there. How was it behaving there? Peekaboo Agent X days from behind the newspaper with the eye holes cut in there, shining a bright light out of it. Oh, and they are very interesting. The brighter, the more interesting there. So we are doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight, guys. Coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. So a very ancient and mysterious landscape with a long history of the weird and wonderful in these skies. Keep your eyes peeled. We'll zoom in on the good stuff. Let's actually zoom in on this one.
Zoom mode activated.
All right. So, as far as we know, this one is just one of the many, many satellites up there. I think about 16,000 of the buggers, and there's going to be a lot more man-made satellites up there. And, you know, as far as if it keeps following a straight line there, straight course trajectory there at a consistent speed, then as far as we know, it's probably just a man-made satellite, one of the many Starlinks maybe. But if it was to, oh, there's no one going across there. If it was to deviate from that, if it was to shoot off its speed, to change its direction, there to stop dead, the interstellar handbrake turn, something like that, that would tell us for sure that we're looking at something very strange, because satellites just can't do that. So we have to keep our eyes on these things to follow them across the screen, because it only takes that last minute change there for us to know for sure that something a little bit stranger is going on there. And no Kerbal today. Yeah, Oscar, sadly we was hoping, but it was miserable weather. No, it wasn't miserable, it was a clear sky, so we had to do the sky. But Kerbal will be, I think it's probably going to be on our list very, very soon there. I am looking to play it soon again there. And Universe, how you comment That's a wise comment there. I looked at it like Jupiter, but it was moving, so I haven't seen anything like it. So the only thing I can think of, and it might not be this, is so I got once, because you think of the size of these things, the International Space Station, when that goes over, that is so big and so bright and so fast that it blows my mind when it comes. I always forget, because it is just so much bigger than you expect. Absolutely. So it might be something like that, but you can check if that was over at the right time there, though. And Agent X, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. Said, guys, do give us a follow, because we do something like this every night. If it's a clear sky, we're doing this. If it's a cloudy sky, we do an alien radio signal hunt.
Zoom mode activated.
And we look to the night sky. Listen out to the night sky there for potential signals from alien civilization. Look how big and bright that one is there. Like I said, we need to see it do something strange there. Something a satellite just can't do. Stop dead. Change its course, its trajectory there, or its speed. Even some anomalous flashing would be nice, wouldn't go amiss. You've got to keep your eyes on all of these objects that are moving and look out for that anomalous behaviour. And let's have a look there. Or if I send it to Discord now, could you have a look? Yeah, send so. I'll have a look in a second there then. And Purple, how you doing, Purple Burglar Arm? Is that your name? Just to give us tongue twisters when we read it out there. Thank you for the share, though. Appreciate that, guys. It is the likes, the shares, and all that sort of stuff there. That helps us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves there. And you never know who is going to come in and share their experiences with the phenomena. That is my favourite part of all of this. And I've seen the ISS before, and it was duller than the thing I saw. Now, that is very interesting. He's definitely in the category of anomalous there, Ethan, and just levelling up on my old account there. So I don't know what Discord came from. There, where are we? Over on the tubes there. Oh my god, where are we? Are we up to date there? No, I think we are there. So much bigger than you expect. Could well be. There. Oh, sent on the Discord. Let's have a look on that one. God, I haven't even been in Discord today. I did catch up last night, but I am so far behind. Right, where are my messages? What's that one there? Ah! Grim, I didn't know you were Silence. Well, perfect timing there tonight. Perfect timing, Grim. I'll get that one sent off there. I didn't know you were the same person as Silence. So, awesome. Right, where is media? Media. Oh, wow. Is that the rings? That's crazy there. Looking zoom in on that. That is very bright. Oh wait, wait, that one's the moon there. Yeah. Oh, you can see the. Very cool there. Very, very cool there. And sorry, distracted by a Discord there. It's always the way, isn't it? I mean, when I saw a sighting once, like outside when I was setting the camera up, I got my phone out. Absolutely awful video. Awful quality video. So I totally feel for the people that do have these sightings and they manage to, they kind of don't record it properly or whatever. All agents need at least 2 accounts. Is always, yeah, you need to A and B it, don't you? There, and actually there, we are not the only ones in the whole universe, and I think you're 100% right on that one. I rarely say things are 100%, but I think that one is got to be true. I also think it's pretty fucking ignorant to think otherwise, isn't it? Mainstream science, they do believe that they are on the side of caution with this. We don't want to say it until we've got evidence. There's plenty of potential evidence for that. And it's not that the alien evidence there fails the test and proves a lot of the time to not be alien. It's just that we don't have the sensitive enough equipment or advanced enough technology to push it over the line of proof. It's very different from it being a failed test. And how you doing, Kendo? There, is it possible to see the ISS twice in the same night? Oh, I think so. I think it is, Ken. I think. I don't quote me on it. It depends. I'm going back to last summer when we saw the ISS there, and I was tracking it. And I think because it does very similar orbits for a while, yeah, if you're lucky, you can sometimes do it. There's a nice, big, bright, slow one here. Keep our eyes on that movement there. Good spotting there, Agent X, a bit behind though. Ooh, hopefully I'll catch up there. What is the bright orange dot in A1? Good question. I don't know which planet. God, there's so many moving across the screen. Which ones do we pick there? And C3, Ashley, good spotting. Going to start bringing it with me just in case. I think that's the only way that we can do it there. Hey, on screen, I know X there. Brad and X, good spotting there. And some say the God we know is aliens too. There is actually a lot of different religions basically allude to that, and I was not aware of that. I thought it was just the Anunnaki stuff, but no, even the old the Book of Enoch there, which was cut from the Bible, says similar things. And you know what, it makes a lot of logical sense, wouldn't it, that we would perceive something so much more advanced than us as a god. Not much difference if we were, you know, Stone Age or something similar, or even lower than that there. Brad, sorry, there are so many up there. I think we've had 9 this season as the most, but last year I think 14 at once was amazing there. And 2 in D3, good spot in there, and Julian there, and go to the giant pale stars in B2 there. That cluster, we'll zoom in on that one in a second there, and 1 in C3. Let's do some zooming. Let's do some zooming if I can get my cursor over there.
Zoom mode activated.
Thank you. Right, look at this one here. All twinkling away, all these are clustered together there. Oh, look, some movement there, got some movement there. 2 of them up there. Some twinkling, can't see much on the anomalous front there, just counted 6. It's only going to get better as the seasons roll in there, Brad, there. And where are we there? I have, I think it's 2 fingers to click the mouse there. To zoom, pinch to zoom in it there. I'll be watching your TV. It always weirds me out. There's a couple of people have sent in clips or videos and stuff, and you know, I can hear myself in the background. Literally, people who had UFO sightings have recorded on their phone. I can hear myself blabbing on the TV in the background. It's very weird thinking of it on the larger screens there. And thoughts on what seems to be massive objects harnessing power from the sun there, Chris. And Susie, how are you doing? Good to see you over there on the tubes. So is that, I vaguely remember some images that were released by some of our solar probes there. I think they were. Look at all these on the screen. Yeah, it looked exactly like that. Large objects harnessing something from the sun. Now, my thing is that they were really big, like that, bigger than Earth big. So that's where I go, well, what the hell is going to be that big? And wouldn't we notice something like that? Just gravitationally. Hold on, let's get this one come into shot again. There. But speaking of things going around suns, we have detected many anomalous light behaviors in distant stars. So one of the theorized techno-signatures, which is the idea that we're seeing a sign of technology at a distance, is basically looking out for things called Dyson spheres or Dyson swarms. And the idea there is that it was theorized by scientist Dyson, basically that an advanced civilization would harness more and more energy from its host star, and therefore the best, most efficient way to do that would be to basically encapsulate the star in energy collections of big solar panels. Basically, the more of the star you can encapsulate and cover, the more energy that you can take from that star. But you don't have to encapsulate the whole thing. You could do a swarm, like we have our Starlink swarms. You know, they're all just in orbit flying around there. You could do the same thing to collect energy from a star. But, in theory, we should be able to see anything large enough like that, whether it be a swarm or a solid object there, if it is, or even under construction there, because it would block out the light from that star to various degrees, depending how big and bright, how big the thing is. So we should see certain stars, basically dimming, which is how we detect those planets in orbit there. So when a planet transits in front of its star, from our point of view there, we'll see that starlight dip, normally in a sort of a single-digit percentage ways. Area. If it's a large like a Jupiter-sized body going in front of that star, might get like a 1 or 2% dip there. Now, they're observing stars, and they're noticing everywhere from 25% dip up into the 90% dip, which is just phenomenal. What sort of structure would be able to block out that much light there? So they do think there might be some shenanigans going afoot, and those stars aren't actually too far away, which might be a little bit unnerving. But what is really interesting is that the stars, or some of the stars that we're seeing that happen with, it's quite a large cluster of them, are all together. And it's all of the stars in that cluster that are a particular type of star as well. So you going for the imagination here, if you were a civilization, then you'd learnt, and you've got the requirement to harvest that much energy from the stars of the systems you occupy there. You have that technology, you input it, you do it around your host star, then okay, right, you're spreading out the civilization to the next star system, next star system, next star, and you'd do that, wouldn't you, wherever you go there to meet your energy demand. So you'd imagine it would, almost like a virus, spread out from a central point there. But the really interesting thing about this cluster is that it is not every star within the certain range there. It is actually similar type stars to our sun. I think it's G-type. There you got these two going across the screen there. So it's G-type stars, which, as we know, because we're here, those type of stars can definitely support life, and they're stable, they're very interesting stars, so they are quite strong contenders to, if you are picking another solar system to inhabit, I'm going to go to a similar type star, because you would evolve to be around the sorts of light and the radiation. I mean, like plant life, you couldn't just necessarily pick up a plant from Earth and then put that on a planet around a distant other star there. If you've got a red dwarf, that's a very different light profile that star is emitting, and therefore the photosynthesis on that plant wouldn't necessarily work. So yeah, you'd want to go to similar type stars, otherwise you've got to have a workaround. So yeah, similar type stars are all seeing this potential techno-signature there. So we can't definitely say that is an alien civilization doing so. Of course we can't definitely say it, but we have no natural explanation for it. And they've tried for a while. So to say that there is no evidence out there is very misleading, I think, there. And Julian there, go to a planet if you have found one. So we actually do have a planet in shot tonight. So obviously all of these dots here, they're going to be stars like our sun. Some bigger, some cooler, some brighter, some hotter, but they're going to be stars, and they're going to have all of their own planets around them there. We can't perceive them. It's just too far away from us to detect them here. But within our solar system, we obviously have lots of planets. If we go over here, this triangular one is Jupiter. Now that is due to the lens causing some refraction of the light there, making it look triangular, but that is Jupiter. That is a planet within our own solar system. That is why it's so big and so bright, because it's close by, reflecting that sun's light back to us there. And fucking cursor, where are you? Right, where are we? Good spot in there, X. I'm so far behind there. Ashley there. I'm pretty sure Venus is easy to see via telescope. So yeah, Venus is. It's not sadly around for us at the minute there. I don't actually think we've ever caught it, because it's quite low on the horizon, Venus, when it comes up. It does often get mistaken for a UFO, because again, it's big and it's bright. It's not like all the other stars. It is a planet within our solar system. It's close by, so it reflects a lot of light. And where it's low down on the horizon a lot of the time, it does get that... does get mistaken a lot, but where we are, I can't kind of get the camera quite low down, because we've got trees and houses and things around the garden, sadly. So I don't think we've seen Venus yet, but I would love to. It's an interesting one. Again, Venus is potentially going to have life on it, just like Mars as well as Earth there. 3 planets in a row, all potentially having life. What would that say about life generally there? Good spot in there. 6 on screen, Agent X there, hovering in space, just hovering around. And do you have any idea when the Kerbal stream is there? So I'm gonna be annoyed. So you know what, I don't know. So our stream relies fully on the weather, so it's very difficult to plan ahead. But so tomorrow night is saying lengthy clear spell. So if it's clear, we'll be doing this. If it's not clear, then we'll probably do a Kerbal then. Monday, again, it's looking the same. So they're all potentials. They're all looking at the minute. The whole week is looking like it's 50-50. So we might have a run of Skywatches this week. So make sure you're following, guys. You're about to see more of the night sky. Or we will have on the next one a Kerbal one. So I don't know just yet. And actually, so the Bible says that there will be no World War III, as God will intervene. So whatever World War III, it destroys Earth. Well, I do think that we always fear these things. I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen in the news that World War III is going to be on the horizon. And to be fair, you know, we have to be vigilant there. We could always lose the battle. But we have to remember that it is within our human nature to pay more attention to the negative than to the positive there. And there's all sorts of weird perceptual biases that we have in play. So I don't think, you know, anything like a World War III is guaranteed. In fact, if you look throughout human history, in fact, all of the horrors that we have committed and we have gone through as well there, we have survived them all. That is literally why we are here today. So not to say that we should be complacent there, but we do need to equally look to that and say, but we have made it through. We have not only survived, but we are objectively, you know, in a much better position in a lot of ways than we are. You know, I wouldn't want to be medieval with toothache, you know, and things like that. A lot of work to go, but I wouldn't worry too much there. In fact, the universe and the people intervene is alien. Or what if the aliens intervene? A lot of people do talk about this, that maybe they are looking over us. They are potentially stopping us from going over the line. There are a lot of reports going back to the Cold War that we got very close to pressing the big red button. And some people do say, and they make some very interesting cases, that in fact it was pressed. But there are also a lot of cases where people are coming out now saying that the old aliens there, they deactivated and in some cases activated our nuclear missiles there. So maybe they're keeping a very close eye on and stopping us from doing that sort of damage. That's where the magic resource printing machine is on Jupiter there. And Odran there, probably getting that totally wrong, but do let us know if a better pronunciation there. Was the Starlink out tonight? You know, I don't know if that's tonight. We caught it the other day. It is absolutely phenomenal when we do see it there. And Vicky, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight there? And Venus wears blue jeans on a Friday night. That was my cologne of choice back in the back in the day there. Was it Versace blue jeans? There you go, some nice movement here, guys. Again, could just be one of the many satellites, so keep your eyes on it, because if it changes its speed, its course, its trajectory, anything like that, that will tell us that it is not one of the many satellites. A2, good spotting. I'm so behind in the chat, but do keep them up, and hopefully I'll be able to zoom in when we get on the good ones there. But good to see that mouse there. Bandits in B4 there. Ashley, there is a planet that is 3 times the size of Earth and has land and water and can sustain a life there. Which one is that? Because there is a thing. There's many comments on that. We are detecting a lot of what are called super Earths around those distant stars that we're looking at right now. And the main reason we're detecting a lot of super Earths, so bigger than Earth, much bigger, is because our technology isn't as sensitive as we'd like. So we can't actually see the smaller planets. They're just too small for us to detect. So we are detecting a lot of the bigger ones now. So they do say actually that you know, the larger the planet or the larger the mass of the planet there might actually be an issue with that. You know, even if that did have life that were technologically advanced, the gravitational pull might just be too strong for them ever to be able to leave that planet there, which is quite an interesting twist. That, you know, might eventually stop them from developing past that. They might not have satellites and things like that just because the size of their planet, its gravitational pull therefore is too big. But life is, I think, going to be very, very, very abundant out there. We are getting many detections of potential biosignatures around those distant planets there. All of the signs that they have gases that, as far as we know, is only made by life there. So the universe, I think, is going to be absolutely buzzing there. Oh, not at all, Oscar, not at all. I muddle through. And there's a life here, Scott, but not as we know it. Well, that is the other part of this, is that, you know, our definition of life is based on what we know. Even things, as you've heard, like the habitable zones thrown around a lot there, which is the area from a star where water is liquid. It's not too close that it gets evaporated because it's hot, and it's not too far away that it is frozen, because as far as we know, life here on Earth needs liquid water, not just to start, but also to maintain itself. But that is even changing. That zone is getting wider and wider and wider there. So it's an ever adapting I think understanding, isn't it there? Oh, you're off there, Brad. Gonna have to go. WrestleMania starting. Priorities there, Brad. Enjoy there. Oh, A2 again, Agent. There's so much going on tonight there. Should we zoom in on A2 is down there. I missed that one, but let's zoom in on this one here. Oh, look, that one's a big bright one. See, that one's actually is flaring. So if it flares again, that means it's rotating. But if it just was that one peak in brightness, then that was probably just catching the sun at the right angle with its solar panels. Yeah, probably just caught that's why it suddenly got brighter. There, over to the tubes. It's been a while. Sorry, guys. Let me catch up with you. Where are we in the chat? Oh, we've got a few more people in tonight, guys. Where are we? 36 watching and only 3 likes is shameful. 3 likes, you tight bastards. There, something is to clear. Oh no, that's what that was for there. And thoughts on what? No, I've done that one. Sorry, guys. Just got. This is a difficulty with the YouTube chat there. It's tiny. Whip that is in there as well. Oh God, what did you say your name was? LJ. There. Hello, probed ones. How you doing, Vinny? Good to see you. How have you been? There. Exactly. And hey, Mayor is in there. You got slight head. Oh, that is a shame. Do you think it's connected to everything there? And Susie there. Cannot believe how busy it is tonight, and it's only going to get busier as the seasons roll on there. Honestly, the skies are going to get so alive. Like, we started doing. In fact, YouTube notified me today that our YouTube channel is a year old. So we didn't really use it until October for you guys. But yeah, it's a year old. So this was the time last year that we was messing around trying to set the stream up. There, I remember May where I was trying to get it working. Oh, hold on. We've got a green one. Is it going to stay green? Come on, cursor.
Zoom mode activated.
There you go. So this one's got a green tinge to it. Oh, sorry, guys. There we go. Now, that could be that light that is coming back through our atmosphere there. Atmosphere can sometimes give things a green tinge, but green is also a possible effect of the gravitational lensing. Sorry, guys, I've been trying to keep it up on my screen and realizing my little box is covering it for you guys in the TikTok there. Gravitational lensing there, compressing the light waves and changing it to changing the frequency of the light there. So keep an eye on that one as I zoom back out to there. And anything. RF has been busy with work there, and the missus. Never-ending DIY. I'll fill you with that one there. Where is my bloody cursor hiding? It's on one computer. Let me scroll down in the chat. There's a few more there. And I think it's LJ, isn't it there? It makes sense. Type 2 and plus Type 3 civilizations would consider Earth and any habitable planets extremely important zoos there. I mean, it maps, doesn't it, on how we treat, signals. And there is a way that we can frame this. We can look to our human past as a little bit of a model to see how intelligence deals with other intelligence, deals literally with islands of habitability there. You go back to, how mankind spread, as far as we understand it, throughout history across the continents there. How traveling to the new world over those vast, dangerous journeys overseas, introducing a new life and things like that. So we now, don't we look and we have these places of that we try to preserve and try to not to interfere with. So it does have an interesting angle there as well. Every habitable planet will have regular or consistent monitoring. It makes sense to me there. How you doing, Mel? Good to see you. Alan's been a nightmare. He's giving you a headache. Oh, he's been chewing my nuts off today. And I believe the sphere orb UAPs, baseball, basketball, plus beach ball size are an ancient global AI sphere network monitoring many things. I'm one that it feels plausible to me. I need more, I think, of the evidence, and there is some evidence for it, so there. But it definitely feels plausible because we would do that if we, as we are now getting these signs, there may be a life around these distant planets. If we had the ability as well to send probes, we would 100% put them in orbit, wouldn't we, around those planets to see what is going on there as well there. And Chris says something is producing phosphane in Venus' atmosphere, which is a biosignature. Yeah, so Venus, in the clouds of Venus, we're detecting this phosphane, or potentially detecting phosphane, which, as far as we know on Earth, only comes from life from certain types of bacteria. So we theorize, because the clouds of Venus are actually quite hospitable, it's quite Earth-like. So we theorize, bacteria could live there. Again, there might be crustaceans on the surface that can deal with that horrendous temperature and pressure there. That has been argued, only loosely. But Mars has definitely got at least bacterial life there currently on it there. keep an eye on the skies there. And Vinny, there, if the James Webb Telescope can see the edge of the universe there, how come it can't see onto planets like up a few million light years away? It's a brilliant question there. So the thing is with that is that it's with those distant galaxies and things like that, it's that light is coming to us, isn't it, there? So it's less about how far can it see, but how much light can it let in. And the more light it can let in, the fainter the light, which has travelled further and longer it can let in. But particularly, like there was some stuff going around a while ago about James Webb has detected lights around, lights on planets around other stars and things like that. Well, the first issue with that is James Webb is infrared, not visible light. But the second one is we don't have the technology to kind of go that detailed yet. It's amazing how detailed we can go, but we can't go that detailed just yet. So how it detects planets around those distant stars yet is we're not actually seeing the planet most of the time. What we're seeing is that the star, that tiny little dot of light that, like, if we look in here now, hold on, let me do a little example. Let's pick our brightish one. Let's pick this one. Right, so let's zoom in on this one. So what the James Webb is doing is zooming in on this one here, and you see how you can actually see the squaring of the pixels now we're zoomed in, right? It's doing that, and it's measuring how much light that is sending to us, and then it's going and monitoring it over time. And if that light dips periodically, so you imagine if there's a planet in orbit that goes in front of that from our perspective, that blocks out a tiny bit of light, so it gets dimmer repetitiously, every now and again. And that, if it's thinking we get something in orbit there, and therefore we can estimate by how much light that it's dipped, we can estimate how big that planet is. But we can only really detect the large Jupiter-like planets by doing that. There is also another way, which is much harder, right, where other telescopes, they look at the dot of the star here, and they watch it so precisely that they notice a subtle wobble. And that wobble is because of the larger planets, again, like Jupiter. They're actually, technically, the planets don't orbit the sun. Everything orbits somewhere in the middle of itself there, just because the sun is so large. That central point is within the sun, if that makes sense. It's called a barycenter. So they don't technically, we're not orbiting the sun. The sun is kind of interacting back with the gravity that we put on it as well. So they actually notice that slight little wobble there from the gravitation, and therefore can predict how large those planets are. So we can't really see the surfaces of these distant planets there. I mean, they can, and this blows my mind, considering this is how it's done. They can actually identify sometimes the bit of light that is coming through the atmosphere of that planet that's transiting in front of it, and then they can analyze that little tiny bit of light and say, right, judging by what colors are being filtered out and what aren't, we know what gases are in the atmosphere of those planets. That's how they get in those biosignatures. So I don't know how they can manage to do that at this sort of resolution, but yeah, we're not quite at the point yet where they can see it, because if you imagine if there is lights on the surface of another planet, that light, if you're looking at this right, that light has got to be brighter than the star, or it's just going to get drowned out. We're just not going to see it. That star's light is going to be too overpowering. So we're viewing the planets we do see in like a negative sort of way there. We're seeing their absence rather than them themselves. It's a brilliant question there, Vinny. Brilliant one. And I think it's LJ. No, yeah, is it LJ? I'll get it in a minute. Man's been running around for 1 million years, yet God only made him unknown 2,000 years ago there, after watching extreme suffering of his peoples for eons there. So I mean, I think interesting is religion. I am seeing more value in it the older I get there, but not in the dogmatic sense as you'd hear a lot of people with the things there. But yeah, I mean, there are certain inconsistencies with those arguments there. I can't make an argument for something that I'm not fully into there. But I mean, 1 million years, I think we're at 300 and something thousand where they think modern humanity is anatomically been around for. But there are clues that it might be up to 1 million, which is very, very exciting. There are a few anomalous fossils, which, if they are human, Homo sapiens the same as us, going back 1 million years, go think, what have we been doing this whole time? There, 31 people in the chat. How are you doing over there? 50 over on the tubes. Welcome tonight, tubers there. So if you are joining us for the first time, so we're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch. We are based in Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of crop circle country here in the UK, just down the road from Stonehenge. So a very ancient and mysterious landscape here. A long history of the phenomena, the weird and wonderful. So keep your eyes on the screen, and we're going to be zooming in on the good stuff, but answering your questions in between times. So make sure you're following, because we do this basically every night. If it's a clear sky, then we do this, the UFO UAP Skywatch. If the moon is up, we do a moon watch, and we see what's called translunar phenomena, the weird stuff that's happened on the moon. The scientists can't explain, and if it is cloudy, we do an alien radio signal hunt there. We search the skies and the stars there, hoping to hear ET say hello. So we're always on the lookout for the phenomena, but do say hello. Take me a while to get through the chats, because we're on a few different platforms, but we will get there. We'll get to see your messages there as well. And where are we? Yeah. Oh my god, I'm missing so many here. Give me a second, guys. I'll catch up with you there. Oh my god, sorry. And 420 there. Where's this image coming from? So, yeah, we're coming from Wiltshire in the UK. I hope you're still with us there. Just down the road from Stonehenge there. Oh, LJ. It is LJ. I'm going to try and remember that one. Whipped up. I try, but it doesn't always work there. And honestly, it does. Honestly, some of these ones that we're seeing tonight are very, very interesting. Now, there's going to be a lot of satellites that we're going to see on screen there, a lot of man-made objects, but you've got to keep your eyes on them. You've got to keep your eyes peeled, because every now and again, they will do something a little bit strange. Like, look at this one here. It's trending steady, but it's quite bright for one that is so small. So there's little variations that we can look at there. But flashing, something stopping dead, shooting off at speed, those sorts of things are very, very anomalous there. Satellites just can't do that, and we tend to see something strange every night. So keep your eyes peeled there. Where are we? And 420. Less of the attitude, be nice. That is what we're all about there. And thank you, Apollo. I appreciate the subscribe. Where are you joining us from tonight there? Where are we? In the early, in the early 2000s, there, Japanese Prime Minister's wife said she had been taken to Venus, and their people were beautiful there. So Venus and Mars come up a lot in the early UFO sort of scene there before, and because we didn't know until semi-recently, what was going on really on Mars. We didn't have images from the surface or any details there. We hadn't sent our probes and landers really. So Venus and Mars, a lot of the UFO phenomena, a lot of the reported abductions were Venusians and Martians were coming down there. Now, is that a case that these people weren't experiencing what they were experiencing, or is it that whoever was there, whoever they were interacting with, was just kind of giving them an excuse? Oh, we'll just tell them from the planet they expect that we're from there. It's too complicated. They won't understand. We'll tell them. Also, lots of movement on the screen now, guys. Keep your eyes peeled for that strange stuff there. If the cosmos is so ancient, how come it's all named after chocolate? I like that. Very good. Having chocolate now, if only there. And a couple of years ago, astrophysicists announced that they had found 30 pairs of Jupiter-sized planets wandering around Orion and not attached to any star. It sounds artificial. Things like this could be artificial, and you've just reminded me of something. TikTokers, I will get back over to you guys in a second there, but there's a lot of chat on the tubes and they've been waiting a long time. So there are certain things. It doesn't just have to be, little green man waving as a sign of life there, but if a civilization is skilled enough, is advanced enough, they could manipulate things at scales that we can't even comprehend this. We do talk about looking to stars. What are the activities on those other stars there? Is the light dimming? Is there a potential Dyson sphere or swarm around that star there? But we can do even bigger than this. We can look at planets and solar systems messing around there. Have a look at this, guys. I saw this the other night. I follow some weird YouTube channels, and one of them was just like proper like old school computer geeks. And I don't really understand computers or programming and stuff, but it's something every now and again you want something to go to sleep to, like 60s mainframe computers that people are restoring. I don't know. It goes on to background noise. Anyway, this chap was talking about rotary encoding. It's something I hadn't heard of before, but basically old school data on a wheel, on a physical wheel, and there was a light sensor that would see if there was a hole in that disc, and as it rotated, that the light would pass through and it would go 1 or 0, and then the amount of holes as it rotates. So it's a rotary encoding of data, basically kind of how CDs work, or even vinyl is technically rotary encoded there. But I saw this disc with the holes and circuit, and I went, fuck, That's orbits. That's planetary orbits. I wonder, as a techno-signature, at the scale of planets, could we look at a distant solar system, measure the orbits of those planets, flip that as a flat disk and go, is there a rotary encoded message within the orbits of those planets? What a way of saying to somebody, look, there is intelligent life here. What if we looked at our orbits and went, fucking hell, you know, all of these planets, they're encoded. There is a data here that implies that somebody has messed with a solar system previously there. And in my upper peninsula of Michigan there, and I saw a UFO once for sure. Love it there. Again, we had somebody else in from Michigan recently. Beautiful part of the world there, and probably good skies over that part of the world. So what sort of UFO was it there? I'd love to hear it. We've seen some interesting light anomalies here on the stream, especially when we do this live. It's rarer that we do, but we do every now and again try to do a live on location. So it's either one of the Iron Age hill forts locally to us here in Wiltshire. Again, weird places, long history of sightings there, but Stonehenge is on the list. We want to do a live Skywatch from Stonehenge and from a crop circle when the season kicks off. So yeah, there's lots of we see lots of strange things, but they are just these lights, these light anomalies. I don't think we've seen the physical outline of a craft. There's one potential case that, but I'd love to see the outline of a craft there. And oh my god, where are we in the thing there? Oh, sorry, got to try and find where I am in the chat there. And there's a knights as well. Love it there. Where are we? The YouTube crew hanging out there, and apparently the universe is conscious there, and the universe is God, creator, destroyer, everywhere, all at once, is seemingly all-knowing. Eldred, that rings a bell for me, and in fact, I was kind of like finding a little bit more of a soft spot for some religious stuff as I'm exploring it later on there. Not going religious, but I mean, if you take away the sort of a God as an individual person, you know, a man with a beard or whatever like that, and if you said God is the universe, it's a set of rules like physics there, cause and effect, I could probably get behind it from that point there. That makes a lot of sense to me there. Thank you for the hydration reminder, Mayor. And Chris there, how strange it must be to live on a tidally locked planet. One half is permanent darkness and the other half is permanent daylight. Honestly, some of the things that's going on in the universe there, weird. Have you guys heard of eyeball planets? Speaking of being tidally locked. So tidally locked is when a planet is normally pretty close to its star. I mean, you can have moons. Our moon is tidally locked. The same side basically faces us all the way around there. So that's what it means. It's locked in because that gravitational there, it's not rotating, it's just the same face. So, and they think that there will be ice planets out there that are tidally locked to their stars. So they're all big white balls of ice, but because they're facing the same way the whole time, there's one side that's perfectly being melted. That ice is being melted, be liquid water facing that star. So that's going to look like a big old eyeball out there. How strange is the night sky there? And Big Mice, the base of my sighting was basically a light that turned off and on and moved multiple times, moving locations, and then just disappeared. One big jump at about 3 a.m. And that is very, very interesting. Immediately, then you're definitely not seeing a satellite with behavior like that. I mean, some people could ask drones, but you kind of get a feel, don't you, for the sort of altitudes that drones work at there. So that is a very, very interesting sighting there. And here, where I live, you see more satellites than you do airplanes. And surely it wasn't an airplane there, nor well, airplanes can't move like that, so 100% might 100%. We're kind of a similar patch of sky here. Not many aircraft, though we did see one earlier tonight, but lots of satellite activity there. And it was weird. It would turn on, then off, move, then turn on, then off, then move. And I'm 45 now, and I've never seen anything like it before in the sky. Some of these is very, very strange. So we've seen lots of things there that do not fit the criteria of shooting star, that do not fit the criteria of plane, you know, drone, of satellite. But to say what it is from that point is very, very difficult. There is it ET flying around, or is it some sort of weather phenomena that we haven't yet heard of, or some secret technology? Any of those are possible, but there is a lot of strange stuff going on there. And Mr. Is it Mr. Mzungu, Mr. Mzungu. There, my dad was a pilot and an aircrew medical, and he was asked if he ever seen anything weird at night there. He said, not really. And the doctor said, good, because if you did, you could lose your flying license. We hear about this, don't we? And so many pilots are coming out now and saying that, you know, we have seen that, but for that exact reason, they didn't want to be, thought of crazy and to lose and risk their career there. So thank you there, tubers, as well there. So guys, do make sure you are following it, you're subscribed from wherever you are there, so you can catch us as well. Looks like we're going to have a good week of Sky watching available, and we'll be on pretty much every night doing that one there. Now back over to the TikTok, guys. You've been waiting patiently. Normally it's you guys that get all of the attention. So let's have a look and see where we were in the chat there. Oh, just seen one an hour ago there. A bright light moving around very slowly here in Ireland. Again, speed is an interesting one there. There's a nice bright one coming in. Because if it's too slow, these things fall down. You know, satellites are normally moving at consistent speeds. Their terminal velocity falling to Earth in a big circle there. So that can be a very good indicator there. Birthday tube thing. I've got to figure out the exact date of what our proper first night was there, so we know that proper birthday there. And Mr. Money, how you doing? Thank you for the heart. How are you doing this weekend there? Did we do the tube first? Because I think we couldn't on TikTok, because we have to wait to get 1,000 subscribers before you can go live. So we was doing that to Twitch, I think, for a while, and then we figured out the YouTube. There, Alan's been what now? Good question. Anthony, thank you for the follow. If you're still with us, excuse me, where are you joining us from tonight? Good to have you in there. Kate coming in with the shares. Do appreciate, guys, all the likes and the shares, because that is how we reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. You never know who's going to come in, going to share their experiences with the phenomena there, and you know what we're all going to learn there. That is my favourite bit, and I can tell you I've learned so much from hearing your first-hand accounts of the phenomena there. So do share it, especially whilst we're waiting for the action to happen on screen there. Oh, we're on today. That was the rotary encoding thing. It's just one of those parallels that just struck me, you know, and I'm sure there's some scientist out there that is doing it. I did Google it and there was nothing matched to it, but where we are starting to now be able to observe the orbits and understand those other solar systems, our confidence on accuracy isn't great yet, but we've got some more telescopes coming online that will really improve that. So yeah, I think, you know, that's going to be a big gaping one. If you're a big enough civilization, how do you leave a symbol that is going to last? If you want to put like a marker, a time capsule on a planet, well, that planet can, you know, its weather will wear that thing away. Maybe a meteorite will hit it and damage that part there, but the solar system itself, that's much more stable. Not totally impenetrable, but it is much more stable for those things there. If I identify as a dinosaur, will I see some UFOs there? I think so. Okay, just let us know how it goes there. And I'm starting to take this personal there. Leave the live and your viewers jump up. It is Kate. It's fully. Actually, you never know how YouTube works. It's not YouTube, TikTok works. It's very strange there. The universe is a lizard. It does strike me that there are some parallels, some very interesting ones. You know, they talk about it's the distribution of matter in the universe. You know, is very similar to the distribution of neurons in the brain there. There are some commonalities there. Can we draw any conclusions from that? Wayfind, how are you doing? Good to see ya. How was your weekend going there? And raining diamonds. So there are so many strange environments out there. I think it's either, is it Venus that rains diamonds, they think? But, you know, diamonds are one of the most precious items here on Earth, although we all kind of know that they're not as rare as they want us to think. But it's one of those common items, the elements or material that's going to be available out there in the universe. In fact, wood might be the rarest. As far as we know, you only get trees on Earth, but yet there are whole planets made of diamonds. There are also what they call cotton candy planets, so candy floss if you're in the UK, but planets that are, they've got this density that is consistent. It's the same as cotton candy. They're so not very dense there. It's dropped again. It's going up and down. There, and the wife saw a silver sphere going in the opposite direction of a plane when flying abroad. Oh, very interesting. Again, there are a few people with these sightings. Some of the ones that are coming from people as passengers there or as aircrew, they're taking these images. There are some very, very interesting, a sort of fascinating one where some scientists kind of broke down the still image of what had been seen there, and you could see what appeared to be sort of the gravitational lensing, the stretching of the light there, which was distorting what the craft looked like. So it's like your classic UFO, but it was thinner on one end and fatter on the other, which is exactly what we'd expect if that craft is within its own warp bubble. That light would be bent and stretched like that by how we theorized it, and also some moisture. That was another key indicator for it, and they saw that too there. And it's broad daylight sighting from the plane window seat. I can believe it. I can 100% believe it. That's a phenomenal sighting there. I suppose it'd be so difficult to get a scale, wouldn't it, at those distances? So difficult. Lots of movement on the screen, guys, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And Mr. Money, thank you for the share, guys. It is the shares, the likes, the tapping away. It does help us reach more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves there. And the more eyes and minds on the old phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together there. And where is the people? Where it's where the ant people go on holiday. It's cotton candy plants. I've got an ant problem at the minute, Kate. The ant people have invaded there. And Mr. Manning, I saw a chrome sphere near a plane, and we did have the sightings, didn't we, of all of the spheres around the airports recently. I mean, there are lots of indicators for this. People say, where is the evidence? Now, have we managed to capture one of these publicly and, you know, open it up, take it to a lab and look at all these things? That's still not to be confirmed. I mean, we know we're working on the Boogosphere, aren't we? But it hasn't been confirmed yet. So we can't say 100% this is what is going on. But there is so many individual cases and examples of where that may be happening there. It does seem to be that there's a hell of a lot of smoke, and I would expect some fire for that one. Marcus, how you doing? Thank you for the gift there. And I've been wondering if the pilot saw it or if it was captured on the radar. And incredible to think that I reckon there's going to be so many that are going to come out as soon as that stigma goes, because it is starting to go. They go some movement, guys. Let's have a look at this one. There is starting to go, and more are coming out.
Zoom mode activated.
But it is a scaled thing there, isn't it? There, so the more that come out, the more will come out and share those experiences there. Right. Look at that one. Now, keep an eye on it, guys, as I zoom out there. We need to see it do something strange. There's a hell of a lot of satellites up there, and we need to see them do something strange for us to be able to say for sure that it is something anomalous, or rather than just one of the many, many satellites out there. Pluto, how are you doing? Thank you for the gifts. And where are we in the chat there? Sick bay, second. There, and Big Mike there, yeah, it didn't even look like it was in the atmosphere. It looked like it was outside of the atmosphere. So again, if it is that high up, you know, if it's out of the atmosphere, everything up there, everything we're looking at now, even those stars that look still, everything is moving. It's in motion. Our whole solar system, we're not just going around the sun, right? We are doing that, but our sun is on one as well. You know, it's actually more like a spiral moving through the galaxy like that. Everything is in orbit, everything is in motion. All these satellites, as you can see, they're moving. It takes a lot of energy for anything up there to sit still, and there are very few exceptions there. There are a couple of orbits, like the geostationary orbits we put like television satellites in, so you don't have to keep changing where your dish is pointing. They're stationary, but they're more around the equator, not where we're looking tonight. So if we're seeing strange, or if you're seeing things that are stopping dead and moving off, we just don't have the technology that can do that at those sorts of altitudes. It's very interesting indicators there. And Jason there, what would you do if you saw one there? So we know what I would do when I think we've seen one. We have seen things on a few occasions, and normally I just swear and then my mouth is agape. That is what happens when we think we see something there. And then we clip it. But I mean, if we saw an actual craft, like the physical... Okay, so I get a bit Scooby-Doo. It's all right here. The camera is live. It's 10 meters in front of me. It comes in from my garden on a very long HDMI lead. Everybody, thank Marcus when you collect the coins from the treasure box. So it comes in. This is live. This is the sky live, and there's some clouds are going to come in a second. But I'm inside. I'm in this little green room. I feel very detached from it. It's like you guys watching at home. I feel quite safe. So if E.T. waved on that screen, I go, hey, that's great. But if E.T. waved at me when we were out doing this live, I would get nervous. And you've kind of seen me occasionally when something's happened and I go, my arse does that, you know. It's when we're doing it live on location, sometimes we have seen some things, and it is a bit nervous actually. I do start to think of all of the negative stories that we've heard about ET, you know. So it is a very different from it there. Where are we? where were we in the chat there? Sorry guys, trying to find where we was. There, and LJ, governments know a pole shift is due soon there, while the elites are building bunkers is rapidly increasing. So the pole shift, the idea, isn't it, that our magnetic poles, every now and again, they go woohoo, and they flip, so south is north and north is south. And the idea there, we know that happens, we can see it in the geological record, it's happened many, many times on Earth, and then they switch back, and we know that our current North Pole, at the minute, he's moving all over the shop. So if you don't know, guys, there are a couple of norths. If you've been in the army, you'll know this. There is magnetic north and there is true north. So true north is if you put the stick through the Earth on its rotation there, North Pole, that is where that is. But magnetic, that freaking camera, what is going on with it? The magnetic north is where that point, where the compasses point to, and that changes all of the time. It's constantly in motion. Oh, that'll do for now. It's constantly moving, and if you, over the last, I don't know, 30 years or so, it's kind of gone from Antarctica, is it? Yeah, down into Greenland, into Canada, and then it's kind of come back up, and it's currently going the other direction now towards Russia and Siberia there. But the idea is, what happens when does that affect? Well, it will definitely affect our magnetic sphere, our field, which protects us from all of the sun's radiation and all that sort of stuff there. Will it have some more dangerous effects? Some people think that basically the Earth's rotation can be affected there. There'll be tidal waves, all sorts of things. It's insane what the potential dangers that it could cause, or it might be reasonably innocuous there. But it does look like we are due one. It's just, what are the effects there, and how dangerous will it be? And 12,000 year polar shift cycle, and we are right in it. We are right due it there, drew for it there. And the blue sphere landed at Manchester Airport a couple of years ago. The pilot filmed it. I saw a couple of videos, but there is lots of activity out there. Spheres, aircraft. I mean, airports, they always jump out to me as an obvious place where ET would want to look. One of our most powerful signals that we are screaming out to space is our radar from airports there. That's one of the most highest energy intensive signals that we're sending out there. So if we detected a signal right now and we want to trace that signal back to its source there, if it's, they'd end up at an airport. So it does make sense that they've got interest in those sorts of things there. And the metallic spheres were seen painted throughout Renaissance and seen in the biblical times at ancient Samaria also. 100%, you look back through the records, the history books there, you even go back to cave paintings, and the phenomena that we see now does seem to be as active as it was back then. Now we've got a few clouds coming in, as you can see. That is a bit of a pain, but we will still be able to see movement behind those clouds. So just keep your eyes peeled. Let's see the bright ones. You can still see through the clouds. Just about see that one moving there. So keep your eyes on it there. Hopefully they'll pass reasonably quickly. They are due to there. Seen a UFO with an alien looking at the window. So is that one you've seen personally? Because I saw a video once of one, I think it's in Turkey. It was taken off the coast of Turkey, and they zoom right in on it, and it does look like the silhouette of two beings. And I think even a third, somebody was saying, if you adjust the resolution. I thought it was a very, very cool one there. And I seen a silver orb there floating not too far away under a filter. There looked like a heat plume around it as well. Still got the picture now. They would be very, very interesting to see. There's to see JSD. Very interesting to see. I don't think I've seen anything like that. The closest we got was when we was on location last time up the hill fort there. Very, very interesting time. We did see some strange light movements ground level, hilltop level, and I got a bit freaked out by that one. It was very, very bright, like a really cool white. And my first live capture was the 30th of June 2025 there, where 6-7 sphere orb UAPs were all dancing around on a main flight path across South Wales. Now, very interesting, especially talking about flight paths there. Because they do think, don't they, that UFOs would have their own flight paths, and you can potentially predict them. Some Irish scientists were talking about there. And, oh my god, where are we? Jumping ahead. All my 8 UFO sightings in jumping up and down and screaming, trying to get other people's attention. Even at 3 AM, I was exactly the same. When I first saw it, it turned out the first one was the ISS going over. I rang the missus up, and she was like, I'm naked, do I have to come down? I go, you got to come down, it's phenomenal. She looks at me, it's the fucking ISS, mate. And that caught me out a second time. Silly me didn't learn. But I totally get that one there. The mouse scared the hell out of you, Nelly. We did want to change the cursor to a little UFO thing, but it turned out to be a bit difficult there. And are there any telescopes that can see full spectrum? Ooh, you know what? I suppose it ought to do with the camera, wouldn't it, more at the end there? Because the telescope is more than the lens, especially if it's the old school and you're looking with your eye. So it would be whatever camera that you now screw to the edge of it, if that's got a full spectrum sensor on it there. And I bet your neighbours love there. And I mean, but you think what my neighbours think of me. This room's glowing green. I'm out there at all hours there. And has been speeding up the last 10 years or so, and some megalithic structures are aligned to the north, or when it was in the Bering Sea, and some to the north, or when it was in Greenland. Now that is very, very interesting. I've heard about some sort of like star alignments, but not to the magnetic north, because that is a brilliant way of dating some of these. Guys, if you are just joining us, I'm working my way through the comments the seconds. You have to bear with me as I get to you, but do say hello. Let us know where you're all watching from tonight. This is a live UFO UAP Skywatch coming to you from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. We've had a fantastically clear night of lots of activity, and we've still got a little bit to go there. Hopefully these clouds are due to pass very, very quickly, so it's not going to get in the way too much there, but keep your eyes on the skies, and we're going to be zooming in on the good stuff. Make sure you're subscribed or you're following, because we do this basically every night. If it's a clear night, we do this, the live UFO UAP Skywatch. If it's a cloudy night, we do an alien and radio signal hunt there. We've got our own dish. We're pointing up to the night sky there, and we listen on what's called the hydrogen line, and that is the frequency, the channel on the dial that scientists theorize that if ET is out there, this is where they would put the message. Hello, is anybody else out there? It's where the wow signal is heard, and many more. So hopefully you can join us on this quest of ours there. And it's been speeding up for the last 10 years. It does feel like it. It really, really feels like it. I do think part of that is going to be our technology, in the sense that we are so connected now, in the fact like we're all here tonight sharing this live experience now, whereas if something had gone overhead right now and I'm in my garden, I'm sitting up there, we're in a small village, how many of those other people are going to be looking up at the same time? Not many people could have a chance to see that, but we are now connected that you all will see this, and then there's the recordings that will go out to thousands of people as well there. So we're just able to see more and more, but we also have the technology that is more and more sensitive, so we are going to have more opportunities there. But even despite that, it still does feel, doesn't it, like the activity, there is just more. It feels like we're building up to something there. And the 252, my mate had a couple of mice. Didn't want to give it. Do you think aliens have boilers in their houses more advanced than the ones that we have that keep breaking it down? Well, you know what? I think whatever their technology will be, it will be more advanced there, because what we're seeing is that those aliens, they seem to be very homogenized. They ought to be whatever species they are, they're not very different amongst themselves. And what does that tell you? If they are the same in every way, even including their attitude and their behavior, it tells you that whatever their shared experience is, it's very similar. And the only way to do that in the real world is with technology, and boilers are a good example of this. You know, no matter what, we are all around the world now together here on this, across various platforms, sharing all of this experience together. But we're also, even though whatever the temperature is outside for me is going to be one thing, and then wherever you are, the temperature where you are is going to be different as well. We're all probably within a few degrees at a very similar temperature right now because of things like central heating. There'll be the odd exception there, but we've used technology to equalize our experience of humans. So the one thing that we all have in common tonight is that we're all not sitting here going or sweating. You know, we've been able to equalize that, and we see this trait of similarity in the aliens as well there, which I think implies a commonality of experience that they've achieved through a technology there. The Popper, I can't even pronounce that one there, volcano has a 24/7 live feed there, running for years, and many fleets have been seen recorded entering and exiting the volcano, with many others rendered. I saw this quite recently, actually. The amount of footage that may be showing that there is some gifts are coming in there. Carl, thank you for that. I did an octopus on my head there. Appreciate that. Gribbage as well there, and Agent X, so much for Scalzi. How are you doing there? And Kate, sorry.
Nom, nom, nom.
Feeding Alan there.
Guys.
And Oscar, thank you for the gifts, guys. Behind on those. Appreciate that. All goes back into stream. They're helping us improve what we do. But yeah, the volcanoes, you know, if they are, you know, using a warp drive, they are creating a bubble around themselves, bending time and space, which it sounds very Star Trek, but it isn't. It is a real science there. If they are using that technology as expected, then they can go into volcanoes there. They're literally, although they're there, they're not there. So they don't have to worry about any of the dangers there. Thank you there, Carl. There also says starry fluff, very on brand. I appreciate that. Tubers, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, we're on TikTok as well. Certain GIFs, they give animations to the visual, but you guys can't see that over there, sadly. But thank you for that one, Carl. I appreciate that. So it all goes back into stream, help us improve what we do. But yeah, that could be a great place for them to hide where we can't go and can't bother them there. And it was Roger Leah and who witnessed the Turkey event. So somebody said, actually, I was watching a podcast and somebody said it was Leah, or was it John Leah? That might be where I'm getting about. No, I think it was somebody said it was John Lear that did that, and I don't think it was. It was another UFO investigator that was taking the images there. Again, it wasn't the same. I don't think it was, but I could be wrong on that one. And there's a ghost of an old man in Stonehenge, right by the stone, seen twice in 1 week there at 3 a.m. in the mornings there. Oh my God, there, Erglin, that is brilliant. I mean, I love a little bit of the ghosty stuff too there. I didn't know that. Hello, Sophie.
Sophie there.
Have you still got no ears? She's got no ears. That is brilliant. So when we do our live from Stonehenge, we'll keep an eye out there. Is it a Neolithic ghost? Hello, Sophie. You got anything to say?
Where are my ears?
Where are my ears? I can't hear you. It's a chinchilla.
Do you want to
Now I'm going to be
headphones?
sniffing because... Yeah, do you want to hear the music, Sophie? What's that?
I can't hear it. I've got no ears. Can take
I'm
the
going to be
piss.
sniffing now because all the hair. But lovely. Lovely to see you, Sophie.
She's not happy to be out.
Not happy. Not happy. Little grumpus. Yeah. So, yeah, tell us more about the ghost. I love that one as well. And Mr. Musk there is watching from a very light polluted Bristol. I work in Bristol. We are not too far down the road from you there. So I'm in Bristol normally a couple of times a week there. Bristol is still a bit weird for many reasons, but also for the Bristol hum. Did you hear that one when that was going around there? And Marcus at Coletto there, aerospace engineer, aligned many ancient megalithic structures and old north positions dated 50,000 years ago and older. I believe that we've got a lot of older stuff going on there. And is that Sicky? Have you ever captured one going very fast? So yes, we have. And when we're doing this Skywatch, it's very fruitful. Far more activity than I would have ever expected to be able to see here. I mean, even when we first came on the streams about 2 hours ago, we were seeing a big bright orange object moving very, very fast, but flashing away. Now, orange is really interesting because orange is what is theorized to be basically a techno-signature of these craft. They're theorized to be using warp technology. And part of that would be that it would create a sort of a plasma skin around the craft there, which to us, ionized plasma is going to be glowing red and orange there. So that is one of the things that we'd like to see. Oh, there's some movement on the screen. Can I catch it? Can I catch it before it goes behind the cloud? Where's my cursor?
Zoom mode activated.
So you've got some movement there. Now, that is probably going to be one of the many, many satellites that is up there. So there, not only is it a beautiful sky up there, but it is alive with all of our man-made stuff. So the way that we're going to be able to tell them apart is by its behaviour there. So things like that orange could put it into the camp of interesting. But it's not quite a confirmation of something strange there. We need to see it do something strange. We need to see it change its course, its trajectory, all of that sort of stuff there. Its speed. They are things that satellites just can't do. And there you go, the clouds are filling out now. So we're going to get to see more and more there. So keep your eyes peeled for the anomalous there. Oh, you're Oski Raf there. Raf says night TikTok as well. Catch you later, man. Hope the things aren't too grueling your shifts there. And Bristol is the other side of the channel to you there. Great. Oh, great air. Oh, so you're not. So you're in South Wales there as well, man. And what the hell was that there? Huge. So that was probably a satellite, probably, but we don't know for sure. Anything that is up there in Earth orbit is going to be reflecting that sun's light back to us. So you imagine something's coming along, and I've got that big lamp up there, like you see that reflection there? It's basically doing that as it's flying. It's just at the right angle, it's catching that light, and we're seeing that light reflected back to us here. But whether it is a man-made satellite or whether it is ET flying around, it's going to reflect that light back to us. So it is by their behavior, by the movement. Satellites are falling to Earth in a big circle, so if it's a straight trajectory, consistent speed, probably a satellite, although ET would mostly be acting like that as well. We need to see it do something strange, like change its course, its trajectory there. And how do UFOs enter lava there? Like they travel through water at hundreds of miles per hour because of the inertia bubble. So yeah, basically, LJ, as we theorize this to work, if we were to use a real life warp drive, so scientists, is it Mikhail Alcubierre in the 90s, basically figured out the maths, figured out the physics that you could have a real life warp drive, you could bend space and time around yourself, right, to travel essentially faster than light. And it doesn't break physics. You just need a hell of a lot of energy, which we don't have. So we are therefore unlikely to be able to do it ourselves until we can figure out the energy part of it. But there are certain hallmarks of what that would look like being used, and we do seem to be seeing it. But if you're doing that, you're essentially just creating a bubble of your own universe that then is within our universe, so there nothing gets in or out. So the heat of lava, the pressures aren't affected there, the resistance from heat going through water that would slow you down, the friction there isn't there, so that's why they can move at ridiculous speeds there. It's a brilliant question there. And Shirley, how are you doing there? And is it Hugs there? Aldem? Oh, I can't do it. My eyes are bad there. And how do UFOs get through the dome? Well, I don't subscribe to that side of things. A few of you guys do, and that's fine. I'm always open to a new, interesting idea. But I'm not fully sold on the dome yet, or the flatness of things. But I'm always interested to hear it. Where are we? Yes, the Bristol hum. I first heard it in '78 there, and they know what caused it. Oh, what was it? Because I've heard it. Let us know what that was. That's pretty cool there. And Roger Lear was a surgeon who took out implants from many abductees there. And after hearing of the Turkey UFO, he made... was that... No, because I'm thinking of John Lear. That's what I'm thinking of. Because John Lear was the Learjet son of the Learjet one, and he was a bit kooky. He was, he was interesting, but also still kooky. So I think that's where I'm confusing it there. So brilliant. So it was Roger Lear, because it was somebody who was interested in UFO. He'd been out there a lot, and he'd taken those images in Turkey there. So people from Bristol have seen the lights across the other way as well. Right, back over to the TikTok. Sorry, guys, I was trying to catch up on the YouTubes. YouTube's is busy tonight there. I think we're hitting a record for the YouTube activity. It is good to see you in there, YouTubers as well. I've got fluff all over me from the chinchilla. If you are just joining us, we're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. These are skies live over Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. So make sure you are following or subscribed, whatever it is over there, because we do this basically every night. So if it's a clear sky and we're doing this, the live UFO UAP Skywatch.
Zoom mode activated.
Zoom in on this one here. And we see lots of activity, lots of movement. Again, lots of man-made stuff up here in the sky, so we've got to do our best to monitor it for that strange behaviour that we mentioned earlier there. That's going to tell us that it's not one of the many, many satellites that's up there. So keep your eyes on it there. So we'll zoom in on the interesting ones. Oh, it's two down here. Let's see the difference in brightness there. Looking to converge. But yeah, we do this every night so that the sky is clear. If the moon is up, then we will do a moon watch. So that's what that looks like there. We talk about all the weird things that happen on, off, and around the moon as well. And if it is a cloudy night, then we get the dish out there. We point to the night sky and we listen out for potential anomalous signals from, could be from distant alien civilizations there. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed to that, because we'll be on hopefully all this week. It's looking like a good week for sky watching. So yeah, you can join us for those and for the hunt of the evidence. And do say hello in the chat. It might take me a minute to get to you. We're juggling multiple platforms because we are on, and this goes for everyone, on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok as well there. If you want to do the two there, at the thing UFO to find us anywhere, and that's what the full screen version looks like if you're not seeing that bit already. Then let me catch up with the TikTok chat quickly, and then I'll come back to you guys over on the tubes there. My god, how far is it? Let's have a look. Explain warp drive to me again, Sam. So Kate, warp drive is basically you're bending space and time around yourself, right? You're using, so technically you're not using gravity, but you think about, how the sun, or the earth, gravity is pulling all those objects in, it's pulling Alan down to the ground now, right? It uses... What was that? Was that me, or did this one just flash? I literally just saw that at the corner of my eye. Did that one just do a big flash? Am I losing my mind there? But essentially, you're basically using that to bend, literally, not just pulling items in, but pulling in light and the universe itself, space, physical space, and create a little pocket. Therefore, you can travel because you're pulling the sides of the universe closer together. So you can, the universe is moving and not you, and that is why it. You can travel faster than light. You can break the speed limit of the universe there. And Sean, have you seen the new Bob Lazar's 4 documentary? Yes, I have. I very much enjoyed it there. And how you doing, Pluto? Just getting your message there. And Drewski there. They say we can detect a craft on radar, but metal spheres are too small to detect. So yeah, there a lot of the times there are gravitational oddity, not gravitational, sorry, radar oddities there have been reported over the years, but it's not consistent. It does make you think, what's the criteria for that? And this is interesting. If they are bending space and time to create a warp drive here, to create a little bubble, those radio waves from the radar, because that's what happens, is that, they send a radio wave out and then it bounces off back to the sensor, and how long that takes to go out and come back is how far away it is. Very basically how radar works. So, but if Alan here has got a warp bubble, he's bending space and time around him, the light will bend around him, but the radio waves will bend around him as they go there, so you wouldn't pick it up on radar. So it's very interesting to see how this technology could be actually proving itself by how it is and isn't showing up there. And Oscar there, I've saved 600 in the past 2 years to get really good. Taz go, oh, Oscar, that well done with that. Honestly, I can't do that. I am a bloody nightmare for saving. So honestly, well done for that. And I'm excited to see some of the images that you get then when you get yourself all set up for that. I hope you all thank Marcus for the treasure box there. We need a bigger crew. We 100% do, Kay. Again, the more, the merrier. The more minds that we have in here sharing experiences, the more so we can all piece this puzzle together there. Where are we? What's that moving up? Sean, okay, I'm a bit behind in the chat, and again, YouTubers, I'm behind on the chat there as well, because I'm cross-platform. I will get to you guys sooner there. Earth's only 6,000 years old, is it now? There, you've gone to the dark side, Kate, there, and the Men in Black there, Agent X. No, there's 2 of them there. Where are we? Is that star there? Have you ever captured one going very fast? Yes, we have, and it is very, very beautiful to see there. But it's the speed for us isn't so much the anomaly. Things can appear, satellites can appear to be going very fast. I don't think we've seen anything that's just gone absolutely so fast that it couldn't have been a satellite, but we have seen many moving things that are weird. There, and Wayfind there, do you remember the Jerusalem UFO? And it hovered over the Temple Mount and shot vertically in a blink of an eye. So I have seen that one. It's a brilliant one. And recently I was listening to, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but I did hear that that apparently it was the people that posted the different, because there was multiple different perspectives, they'd all seen the same thing from a different angle, and that was one of the credible points. But somebody had traced the individuals back, and apparently they were all like CGI art students. So I don't know if that's true, but it could be something that is going on there. Skulls is in as well, good to see you. And Flying, the ET is here. They deliberately don't make themselves known there, and it isn't tech we need, it is better leaders. I like the angle there, and I think there is a lot of evidence that ET could very well be here, but also been here for a very long time. There you go, some movement up here, guys. Again, at the minute it's following a consistent speed and a consistent trajectory, so it's not doing anything anomalous. But as I zoom out, you keep a track of it, and then if it does anything strange there, stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course, its trajectory, and let me know, and hopefully I'll catch it in time there. And where are we there? Jan there, you have a very calming voice. Jan, thank you, that's very, very kind. My voice is horribly nasally. I can't even hear myself. I can't listen back to these things. But thank you, it's very kind there. And I think you want me to sing. Now that is something that nobody wants to hear. And now you need to buy a new hat. Oh my god, I do. Don't give me an excuse there, Kate. So, thank you there, Agent X. Loving the stickers there. And we only spot the green men, exactly. And Gangstar, how are you doing? Have you ever seen Santa go past? Funny you should say that. One of our most popular streams that we ever did was a Santa tracking stream, and it was really cool because, you know, we did it as a bit of a fun thing for you guys in the community. It was basically this, but we overlaid like a world map with following Santa from destinations, and everybody kind of, loads of kids joined in, and most people in the chat were all very sportsmanly with it, and I thought it was very, very sweet. So we'll probably do that again this year. Maybe, Kate, maybe we've appeased the gods up there. We're on 111 now over there. Skywatch, Signal Watch, or Pirate Sam. Yes, occasionally when I get bored of doing the alien radio signals hunts, we do play the odd game to pass the night there. And how you doing, Rich? Yeah, what on earth? That was a big... So you did see the big flash as well. I've clipped that bit, guys, and I'm going to look at that again because I only saw it out of the corner of my eye. But that could have been a brilliant anomaly. Actually, I might check it in a minute there. Where are we over on the tubes now, guys? I can catch up to see where do we get to here? And the man who wrote Star Trek was part of a Special 12 and got all of his ideas for Warp Drive and Galactic Federation from top secret data collected during alien UFO investigations. Wasn't he also part of that 12? Weren't they like channeling aliens, apparently? Some sort of consciousness connection, getting information. That's something I've heard a bit recently as well there. And Nelly there, one is going up, good spotting. I am a bit behind, but let me catch up with the chat there. And I never believed anything until I saw my first UFO over Newport in 2014, and I was the same there. I am one of these stubborn people. I will have to reinvent the wheel. I have to see it for myself. I have to make my own mistakes, and there's a few of those there, but I am stubbornly like that. Oh, for bloody thing. Sorry, guys. Let me just attack the camera now. Oh, it's going to have a soak. I don't know what is up with that it keeps doing that one. Right, so it's not as good as that one was there, but it'll probably snap back in a minute there. That is the old the camera software is having a sulk, and I haven't figured out why it is having a said sulk there. How you doing, Harry? Where's my mouse? It's on that monitor there. No, it's on that one there now. Right, there. It's almost 7th on Saturday there, the 14th of March there. That is brilliant. Honestly, I hadn't seen anything UFO related until doing this stream. Part of doing this stream was because I said I had a kind of spooky experiences. I've always been interested in the possibility. I like a good mystery, but I had never seen anything of the UFO alien side of things myself. But we moved to the country from Essex, and we're now in the middle of Wiltshire. And the sky was stunning. It is so clear and so vibrant. You know, all the stars that you can see, absolutely stunning. But this little town has a UFO history to it, hence our name, which is the Thing UFO. Well, they had the Warminster Thing, and it was a UFO flap in the 60s and 70s. It went on for about 10 years. It was amazing. It had everything, and it was just consistent for 10 years. People would travel internationally to come here, see the sightings. A lot of those people gave up careers and then moved here to be with it permanently. Like, it had everything here. So part is to do it, this, you know, is it still going on? Is there stuff happening in the skies over this little town still? And it does seem to be that there are some strange things going on here. But yeah, until here, I hadn't seen it for myself there, though. And Gino there as well. It was the ghost of an old man was seen 4 weeks ago, and it was seen stood by the stones and walked around and vanished to a couple was around and there and ran for life. And so free to, I think I would as well, but we are planning on actually going to Stonehenge. It's been a thing that for our 10,000 follower milestone here on the old TikTok, we were going to do a live UFO Skywatch like what we're doing tonight. We're going to do it live from Stonehenge because you can get quite close there late at night, but maybe we could do mine into a little bit of a spooky one as well there. We'll double up. That's brilliant there. Thank you for sharing that one there. And Sarah there, Patient 17. Oh, what's Patient 17? Let me know when that's about there. And something to do with the storms in the Caribbean to South America causing vibrations to travel towards the UK, and as they enter the Bristol Channel they get closer together and faster and vibrate. Oh, so that was the Bristol Arm. The world is strange. The world is very strange. I wouldn't be surprised. How to imagine trying to figure that one out there as well. And I was thinking of keeping a dolphin as a pet there. Could I keep it in my shower cubicle and just spray it occasionally there? I'm on the right forum. Well, actually, funny there, who's that? Because dolphins did come up for us a while ago there. There was an experience that involved a dolphin. I will say no more for now. What was the name? Was it Gerald the dolphin? We'll go into that one later there. And I saw a white tube, larger than a submarine, cross from far in the east to far in the west there in about 3.5 seconds silence, approximately 15,000 miles an hour. That is very reminiscent of a lot of the older sightings, especially in this part of the world right here. Again, lots of these flying crosses as well were very similar to that one there. It's not an accurate description of the hum, I know. I mean, I haven't heard it myself. But, I mean, does it make sense to you? I mean, it sounds scientific there. And, oh, Nelly, you did spot it then. So I'm a bit behind in the chat there. But that did flash. That was a very, very strange one, wasn't it? And it did flash. It was very, very anomalous. I'm going to look forward to seeing that clip again there. And the only thing I've seen was in 1981 in Sennybridge, in the Brecon beacons there. Oh, Sennybridge. Why does that ring a bell? I think that's a military training facility, isn't it, Sennybridge? That's a past life, the memory that came unlocked there. And, oh God, where is it? Open. I think I'm just getting to your messages now. That Open HQ are there. I have about 400 spots and alien and UFO lights on Google Maps and Earth there, if you want to have it. And yes, it's the good, get to the kilometers of Google Earth. 100%. If you want to send that one through, I'm not sure how to do it on YouTube, how you can send messages up, but I'd love to hear about that one as well. I appreciate that. Sorry it's taking me so long to get to the messages there. And a lot of movement going slow and steady, though. That is the thing. We won't know if it is anomalous until it does that thing. So not everything up there is going to be explainable. It's going to be a satellite. Majority will be, just because there are so many of them. But anything up there, remember, whether it is a UFO or whether it's a man-made satellite, it's going to reflect that sun's light back to us on Earth. It's going to look similar until it does the movements of UFOs. That is what's going to just slam dunk it for us there. But the boring stuff or the steady stuff may also be anomalous. We just can't really tell from down here there. And also I have green aliens with UFOs on Google Earth clip. Now that would be cool to see. That would be very cool to see. Appreciate that there. And the same square. Another one already that I'm so far behind it there. And please hit the like, people. Do appreciate that one whipped out as well. Because it is the likes. It is that interaction there. The likes, the shares and things like that. That helps us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. And you never know who's going to come in, what they're going to share. The amount of people that have not only come in and shared these amazing first-hand accounts of the phenomenon, which again, personally, it's my favourite thing. Hearing and then being able to understand a little bit more. It's taught me so much about the phenomenon and changed my opinion on it. But also the professionals that come in with a little bit of experience going, yeah, what you're seeing is strange. We've had scientists that have worked with and currently work on satellites come in and say, things that we just thought were a boring satellite, moving along, they've gone, no, satellites don't do X, Y, or Z. I work on them, and therefore bringing things that we thought were explained into the anomalous category there. So we very much appreciate that. And we are running multiple chats, so I tend to go from one to others. There'll be a bit of a delay in responses, but just I will get around to you because I do pride myself on reading every message there. It just takes me a bit of time there. And Edge, how are you doing that? And is that Christine? D2 and C2, good spotting. I'm a bit behind, but keep up on the good spotting there. And CPT there. I had an encounter in 2012 in France. Stopped the car, got out, and the UFO was above the trees, slowly rotating, no noise. Slowly moved on. We'll never forget it. And drew a picture. Oh my God, see, it's a sighting like that that is just unambiguous. Isn't it? Like, how do you convey something so awesome to other people like that? Because the no sound, that is very anomalous. Everything that we know is Earth-made. It requires propulsion. I mean, even if you are moving through the air, you are disturbing the air. That creates noise. But UFOs, they seem to be able to work around that one as well there. Sabotage, CIA sabotage the camera. It's a bloody pain. It's always jumping around left, right and center. Sadly, we are a stream on a budget. Sadly. But we are ever so slightly improving. Oh, look, there's some movement. In fact, there's two converging. So I'm just going to come away from the chat for a second. We're going to zoom in on these
Zoom
ones.
mode activated.
Right, there we go. Look, these two are converging. There you go, just coming in there now. Again, probably just satellites flying around there. Until they do something strange, we're not going to know otherwise. There's a lot of satellites up there, but it's worth keeping your eyes on them because it is that anomalous behavior there. The stopping dead, the shooting off at speed, changing course, changing trajectory that will tell us that it is 100% not a satellite. Satellites can't do that. They're falling to Earth in a big circle. There, so I have to follow certain rules there. And Nelly there, I'm watching on TV there, seeing it close up is so cool. Usually just on your phone there. Nelly, thank you for that. I always find it strange. People sometimes send in pictures because they'll see something on the screen. Or we've had a couple of people actually have UFO sightings like outside and they're on their phone and recording it and sending it through, and I can hear myself being played in the background. It's very odd to see him on the big screen there. And most of my experiences, I've had a feeling to look up and kind of look straight at them there, like a weird connection or something. And nature for sure know when we're around. Well, we do. They have tested this. They don't fully know how it works, but we do have some sort of sixth sense that will tell us what a lot of the time if somebody's looking at us. How many times have you just looked around totally unconsciously and then made eye contact with somebody else there? They've measured it. It's beyond chance. They just don't know what mechanism is causing it there. So it would make sense it would work with that element of the phenomena as well there. Oh god, it's jumping ahead on me, and now I'm gonna have to get better at reading this chat, aren't I, guys? You know, when you see an anomaly, you feel it's nothing conventional. That is, it's intuitive. You hear it in your stomach, don't you? Or you feel it in your stomach there. And we're often lacking the language to describe it, you know, because you go, oh, it's a light in the sky and it was moving strangely, and, you know, or it's very fast, and people just go, yeah, it's a plane or it's a satellite. You can't convey it. We're often left without words, but you know it your intuition, basically. You know it in that sense, don't you? You know it deep down there, because you've had a lifetime of seeing gravity in action. You've had a lifetime of seeing planes in the night sky, and then you will see something. And look, your intuition, your gut there isn't precise, but it's very good on a broad range of things there. And OpenHQ there, I've sent the chemists there, the KMZ for Google Earth on the email. Thank you, they're open. I'll check that one out after the stream. I do appreciate that one. Thanks very much for that one. It'd be a good one to figure out how to bring up on stream, to have a look at those there. And Edge there, do you believe in several civilizations or just one extra civilization? So I am a big believer of life is probably going to be abundant out there, especially the evidence that we are getting now with modern telescopes and things like that. Like, we haven't pushed over the line of 100% confirmation, but we have got so many individual cases that are pointing that life is just absolutely everywhere. And I think if there's going to be one, there's going to be more out there. You know, why, if you look at how diverse life is here on Earth, yeah, it's not just one species. There's lots of going on here. I think nature, unless there's a good reason, it's going to be loads and loads and loads there. And Christine as well there. We might get a chance to see the Lyrid meteor. We do catch the odd meteor coming in, and oh my god, they are stunning. Sometimes they will perfectly frame the screen, and they're some of my favourite things to see there. And Raven Spirit there, hi from you. I'm glad I found your new channel. How are you doing, Raven Spirit? Why does that name ring a bell? Why does that name ring a bell? Good to see you there. And Christine as well there, one across the middle. Keep up the good spotting there, and something moving fast. Lots of things there. So we're going to zoom in when I'm not distracted by the chat on the good stuff. So the anomalous stuff. It's all very interesting, but we need to see it do something strange for us to be able to zoom in on those ones. And a pilot plus passengers flying to Alderney on early 2000s witnessed two huge cigar UAPs and football sides cigar UFOs as well. So a very, very interesting there. I've heard some around Alderney as well there, some air traffic controllers and having conversations about some signs there. Very interesting, some things that pilots see. And have you heard about the blood group that they believe might be alien? And I'm from that blood. Really? So we've definitely got a few in our community. Is it RH negative or Reese negative, something like that? But I mean, you look back through the folklore really here, and through a lot of religious texts there, and it does look like, you know, there could have been a little bit of shenanigans going on in our early development. It definitely would fit in a lot of ways. It's not something that you can dispel scientifically at this stage, so maybe there is some at play with that as well. Oh, was it NH there? And it's a plane guy. Oh, hello, you doing there? Oh, it's a plane guys. Oh, Starlink. So it's not planes. We get planes every now and again, and they're very obvious. When you're zoomed in on this, you can see the wings, you can see the details. They're very, very large. But Starlink, yes. Edge, 100%. There is a lot of man-made satellites up there, like I think 16,000 or so that we're on at the minute. There are a lot, and as an example, this faint one moving quite here. Hold on.
Zoom mode activated.
There's a lot. Where's it gone? There you go. That proves my point. Anyway, oh no, there it is. So yeah, lots moving around up there, lots and lots and lots. But we see, surprisingly, a lot of objects up there that can't be satellites because they display the anomalous behavior there. So this one moving across the screen in a steady speed, straight trajectory, It's probably a satellite. Again, lots of them up there. Statistically, that's the most likely explanation. But every now and again, you'll see some of them display some strange behavior there. Things that satellites can't do, like stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course, its trajectory. Satellites just can't do that. So you've got to keep your eyes out. Because they do happen every now and again. Keep your eyes peeled there. Negative as well there. All set on your year. You see a grey UFO there. Excellent. We'll have to try that at some point there. RH negative, that's it there. And LJ there is, think that the blood group comes from the reptilians. Interesting. I don't know the connection there. And aliens and UFOs and portals there. Who cares if people don't believe it's there? The real 10,000% Waka What people and their opinions, and they don't have a clue about life. So this is a very interesting angle. So personally, I don't mind people having different opinions with this. I think of this as a knowledge buffet. There, everybody brings a dish. And you just take the bits that you want. You never know when somebody's going to come in and they're going to have that missing piece of the puzzle for you, even if it's kind of counter what you believe. It's always good to kind of mix these things up there. So here, it's definitely, even if you are very, very skeptical, you're still more than welcome, as long as everything is respectful there. But I mean, the most people don't believe because society doesn't believe as a whole. The zeitgeist, the consensus hasn't switched over to the majority. And as a species, we work in that herd mentality, and we do it for a very, very good reason, which is if we have to figure out every problem for ourselves as individuals, we wouldn't have time to get anything done. So we delegate that responsibility to the crowd. If I'm about to walk over a bridge, I don't go, is that bridge secure? I mean, unless there's something obvious, there's not a big crack that I can see. I will go, right, unconsciously, everybody else has walked across that bridge in front of me fine. Therefore, it's probably safe. And we delegate a lot of this responsibility out, but unconsciously, we do this in society as well. So when people say there are no aliens, what they mean is, I don't think there's aliens because nobody else has told me that there's aliens. When you present evidence to a lot of those people, they will still give you the blank look, because that for them isn't what they're basing it on of evidence or a direct experience. It does the consensus believe. I'm going to delegate this to the wider community, and until the wider community says otherwise, or I personally have an experience, I'm not going to change it. And that is part of human nature. It's part of life. It does get us into trouble, but it also allows us to kind of pass the baton on and pick up on where we left off there. But I think we need to understand what the mechanism is of why that happens, so we know how best to tackle it there. But when you start to look, there is so much potential evidence out there. There are so many individual cases, and this is coming from somebody that I've had some interesting sightings, but I haven't had the direct experiences that a lot of you guys have had. So there's people in this chat now going, I don't need disclosure because I've seen it myself. And that is amazing there. But this is the thing, a lot of people haven't, and we need to push that line for that general consensus, because that evidence is out there. You'd think that the needle of belief for a community will switch over to believe when there's just the sheer weight or the volume. But it doesn't work like that. The human psychology and... oh, there we go. That was a shooting star. Did you guys see that one? That was quite a nice one. But yeah, brains are interesting. I like that one. Where better to be negative than positive. That's my normal disposition there. Where are we in the chat? Oh my god, I think I'm going to have to end up skipping a couple of these there. The two coming together. And alien, just annoying when people disbelieve based solely on beliefs when their beliefs are completely fabricated. But that is very interesting. And if you go into yourself about this as well, this is the thing. Because why do we believe what we believe? And I find this personally quite challenging when somebody comes in with something like a flat earth opinion. It's not an opinion I share there, and I haven't heard a case that I've understood enough to change my opinion yet. But it does highlight the fact that the reasons that I believe that space is out, that what we're seeing now is what they sell us it is, that these are other stars and these distances are as vast as they say, is because I believe in a certain level of competency, anybody within the scientific community, and I believe that if that wasn't the case, eventually somebody would have said, hey, look, no, this is all wrong there. But it is a belief. I haven't done that and tested myself. So even within ourselves, how we believe is such an interesting thing there. It's going to that damn... honestly, Nelly, you're watching some of these and it is funny when they get so close. You're like, God, you're going to hit. I mean, from our perspective, they're looking like that. But if you were to look sideways on, you probably realise that they're like distant apart. But it looks like to us that they're going to come in there. And where are we? There's satellites there as well. A lot of junk up there. You're not wrong there, Gary. You are not wrong. Lots of interesting space junk. In fact, there is a hell of a lot of things that are within, that are in orbit of the Earth there. And we've been tracking for a long time, but we don't know where they come from, and we don't know what they are. There are a lot of candidates for things like the Black Knight satellite there. And hey, a civilization that maybe visited us a long time ago and went, oh look, there's life on this planet. Maybe it'll develop to intelligent life. We'll put a probe there to monitor it and see what happens. And you know what? That's something that we would do if we had the technology with theorized ways of doing it. But there are signs that that may have happened. I mean, firstly, Earth has been screaming out to the wider galaxy there that we have had life for about 2 billion years. So if any civilization out there now, in the last 2 billion years, has had the technology that we've got right now, they could tell that our planet is full of life. So in that time, do you think somebody's noticed and somebody's come along possibly and had a little look, put a probe in orbit? And there are some clues, not only just those anomalies that we are tracking in orbit, but also the there's a strange radio phenomena called long delayed echoes, which implies there is something about 3.5 seconds, light seconds basically, away from us at the speed of light there, 3.5 seconds away, that is returning and reflecting our signal. Now, there's no moon there that's going to do that, but what is there is something called a Lagrange point. And a Lagrange point is an orbit, or it's a place where the orbits cancel each other out. The gravitational masses of the moon, Earth, and the sun, they kind of just cancel each other out, and you can actually put something up there, and it will sit still. It's where the James Webb Space Telescope is. They're not going to constantly readjust it. It will sit there, but that is the perfect place that you want to put a probe, maybe for 1 billion years, that will wake up when a civilization has got so technologically advanced that they're using radio. And how would you signal to that civilization that, hey, we're here and we're listening? Well, you would just repeat that message back to them, and that shows them that, A, you're intelligent and technological there as well. And that is exactly what we have been hearing. So possibly there. Oh, you catch the shooting star there as well there. And an alien like Spiky eats a human on 2 legs there, and human legs visible. Oh, interesting. I'll have to check for those ones out there. And another one, good spotting. I'm so far behind in these chats tonight, guys. Sorry, TikTokers, I will get to you momentarily. In the middle, shooting star, excellent there. And where planes and satellites are super boring there. Nothing like legit satellites. Well, I think you're right there, LJ. You know, you will get the eyes. The more we do this, the more you'll notice the ones that just look very similar. And every now and again, the excitement that runs down the back of my neck when we see one, you go, that's weird. You keep your eye on it, and then it does something weird. There, watching it on the TV is a lot easier there. So it is a bit bigger, guys. If you do want the full screen, remember, you can find us on there as well as TikTok at the thing, a UFO, but you see it around the right way. So on TikTok, guys, the way you're seeing it, the camera's like that, we've turned it like that so you can fit it all in, but it's around the right way. On those other ones there, that's it, shooting star, love it there. It's something spiritual, spiritually there, Shirley. I think spiritual is a brilliant word there, because there's a lot of these things that they're quite broad words. They're designed to encapsulate a lot of things, but they're not scientifically specific, but not everything needs to be. And I think the more you look into it, the more that's actually a good way to start that exploration there. You know, you can't have a scalpel to cut your way through a jungle. You've got to have a big old machete, haven't you, there to get through the big wood there. It's when you get to the ancient temple, then you can get your smaller works out there to work for. And I think things like that are a better way to understand the phenomena sometimes there. And I've spent 13,000 hours research since my first UFO sighting in 2014, because I had a spiritual awakening and I researched all religions, aliens, UFOs, ancient architecture, and lost civilizations there. It does, for a lot of us there, you have a sighting that doesn't match your internal understanding of the world. And this is how the brain works, human psychology, that you see something that doesn't match your map of reality, of existence, and then you are compelled to find the answer for it there. And depending on how differently that didn't match your map of reality, there we go, we've got one there, one behind. Oh no, you can't see them. They're off the sky there, but there's a couple down here coming in. Is how much you'll be compelled to find the answer there. You don't know where the Star Trek logo comes from. Oh man, I'll have to try and check those ones out at some point there. And they were already here, but we only made ourselves known when we started screwing around with the nukes. Again, 100%, because if you look, and I did not know about this, but if you look back into all the religious texts and things like that, it does look like, even cave paintings and folklore, it does look like whatever this phenomena is, it has been with us the whole time. You strip away the human interpretation of what they're seeing, and you go back to what it is: lights in the sky, strange craft, beings, little green, little beings, they're taking people away. The phenomena has been here for a very, very long time. And I find that endlessly fascinating. I also find it very interesting as well that our modern day interpretation of the phenomena, little green men in UFOs, metal flying ships coming from other planets, is an interpretation that started just around the time of our space race, when we started to send men in metal spaceships up there to look at the stars and those other planets. So it's funny that that's what we start to interpret this phenomena as when we start doing that thing, whereas before it was folklore, the fairy, the fae, and things like that, angels and demons and the like there. L1 and L2, there are the Lagrange points. Yes, there are actually a couple of different Lagrange points. There are 5 or something like that as well. And Gatsby's in there. And I read the universe spins around Earth there. Sounds legit. I think your textbook might be slightly out of date. But no, I mean, this is the thing, right? We are technically the centre of the universe, but also definitely not. Because the way it works is, with the universe expanding and the speed of light being fixed, there is a part of the universe that we don't even know how large it is, that we will never see, we will never detect, we'll never be able to travel to, because the light from it is not travelling fast enough versus the speed that it moves away. So there is a sphere around us that we are technically in the centre of, because that's our perceptual sphere, and the farthest we will ever see in the universe there because of its expansion. And some very interesting things about that is that we are noticing right at the edge of the perceivable known universe there are some galaxies that appear to be being pulled out of the observable universe. Now, we do not know of anything that can be so large to have those gravitational interactions and strong enough to pull galaxies at the speed that we are seeing. So what might that thing be? We are never going to see it. It's too far out of our range there. But it is very interesting there, isn't it there? I live in Aussie there. The UK is too far away there, plus Aussie has no petrol. So Oz, I don't know if you might be our first from down under there. Anything, we know there's lots of strange activity down there. Have you seen anything yourself there? And the universe is not spinning around Earth there. The moon spins around Earth. So the moon spins around Earth, the Earth spins around the sun, and then the sun is in orbit around the centre of the galaxy. So our whole solar system is moving around the galaxy as well. And we don't know this yet, but some people do speculate that galaxies themselves they're definitely in motion, but they also might be in orbits and stuff around something there. But that's too big of a scale for us to ever measure, most probably there. And TSA there should be more channels like, thank you, that's very, very kind. Where are you joining us from tonight? So it is taking me a bit of a time to get through the messages, because I do like to try and make sure I read everyone's there. So it will take me a second, guys, but I'll be back over on the TikTok to catch up with you guys in a second. You have to bear with us there, but do say hello, especially if you're new here. Do say hello, let us know where you're watching from, and also make sure you do give us a follow, because tonight, obviously, we're doing the live UFO UAP Skywatch from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right down the road from Stonehenge, and also right in the heart of Crop Circle country there. But we do it every night. So if it's a clear night, it's this. If it's a cloudy night, we do an alien radio signal hunt there. We search what's called the hydrogen line. That is the channel on the radio dial where scientists theorise that if ET is out there, this is where they'd put the message. Hello, is anybody else out there? It's where we've heard signals, anomalous signals like the WOW signal, and many, many more since then. So we do that ourselves. We don't see as much action with that. It's much rarer, but it gets us together to talk a little bit more about UFOs there. If the moon's up, we do a moon watch, and that's what that looks like. There's lots of strange things about the moon there, so we talk about those on those ones as well there. So yeah, make sure you're following, like, subscribe, whatever it is there, and then you'll get those notifications of when we go live there. And I appreciate that, and Shirley corrects exactly with that one. And thank you, Seth. I appreciate, and this stream is 100% relying on your questions. Like 100% here. There are some quieter nights here, and it's not the same. So I really appreciate everybody asking questions and also sharing your experiences. It's a very personal thing, and I can understand why a lot of people might not want to, but we do value it if you do share it, and we like to make sure it's all as respectful as well there. But again, no silly questions. You do not feel afraid to ask something, okay? Even if it has been asked before, you didn't quite understand it, maybe it's about what we're doing, maybe it's about science, the universe, or what is going on. Feel free to ask away, because if you're asking that question, there's going to be other people in the chat there that don't want to ask it but are curious as well, and they'll be grateful for you to doing it. But it's an opportunity for us to all learn there. A lot of the times I don't know the answer, but you guys will, and then we can all learn together there. So we do appreciate all of that. let's scroll up to where we are there as well. Where are we in the chat? Oh, little flash top left, Chris. Sorry, it's a bit delayed, but keep an eye. If we see the flash from the same position over a few minutes or even the length of the stream, sometimes we've seen it before. Very, very anomalous. Nothing should be stationary up there. And I could get through the Amazon with a Swiss Army knife there. I like to see it, and if I saw a UFO, I would run or play dead there. Gatsby, I honestly probably would the same as well. Like some people have a really euphoric experience. It's like the culmination. It's clarification that the world and everything is a little bit more interesting than we had been led to believe. You know, there's a lot of possibility and wonder there, but the other half of people, they have a terrifying experience and they have a bad time. So I would be a bit cautious. I think in the size of the universe, in the way the world is, I think that there's probably going to be good and bad there. So a little bit of caution never goes too bad there. And if everyone hits the likes, the channel will pop up in more people's feeds there. And LJ, thank you for that. And that is totally right. It is those likes and those shares that helps us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves there. And the more minds and eyes looking at the phenomena, so the more we can all piece this puzzle together there. And there's a cave painting from 60,000 years old that depicts birdmen similar to the Anunnaki. You start to look at all these dots to connect. Like, we can't say 100% what that cave person interpreted, well, their interpretation, that what they were intending that to be, but it does start to look that there is some smoke. There is a there as well. And Stonehenge, the 5th 2005, there's an alien text on the grass. There have been crop circles, haven't there, near Stonehenge, and said we are right in the heart of crop circle country. We had one just outside of town last year, literally on the edge of town, and it was just as we were starting this stream, and it was one of the nights that I got the camera set up, and I just got, it wasn't this lens, it wasn't as good, but I had the set up directly in front of the computer, actually out the window, and it was looking up directly over where that crop circle ended up being made there. And when that crop circle happened the next day, I looked back through my footage and I saw there was light, there was strange movement over there. I don't even know where that footage is now, though. And no need to fear the UFOs, my friend. They bring 99% nag. What's nag? But I mean, maybe there isn't to fear there. But until I'm one of these people that I'm always cautious. I trust nobody. And thank you for the explanation. Gatsby, thank you for the questions there. And on the edge of the observable universe, exactly. That is, the observable universe is one thing versus the overall universe. We're never going to know the true size of the universe there. We just can't possibly. We can't even measure it. It's not just seeing it. It's not just light. But because of that speed restriction, the speed of light there, nothing can travel further. That is radio signals. It's gravity. It's everything. Nothing. Information itself does not travel faster than light. So therefore, we'll never be able to measure or observe in any way outside of that, unless warp travel or wormholes are a thing, which it does look like could be the case there. Another universe pulling out, it could be actually, it could be something like that. And then that brings us to the question of, is the universe a definable thing, or is it literally just, like international waters? It's a boundary that we draw, but it isn't a physical thing there. And they said our solar system is on its way out of the Milky Way there. Oh, I didn't hear that we're on the way out. We're in the suburbs, aren't we, relatively speaking? I did hear some interesting things actually about our position in the Milky Way and what could point towards why we are that rare example. Where are we? In the centre there. I love your channel. And hello from Wales there. Thank you, Tom. That is very, very kind of you there. And good to have you in. I hope you've been well. Your weekend is going well as well there. And when we are a Type 2 civilization there, I wonder if we would be able to get through McDonald's orbiting Mars in our flying Tesla. Can you imagine when we find Musk's old flying Tesla there? You know there will be a McDonald's on Mars. You 100% know there will be there. And I went to school 5 years ago. It's good in it when you meet somebody in the chat from just down the road. I can't tell you how funny I find it when somebody comes in the chat and they go, I live 3 doors down from you, and go, I've never seen you before. But it's funny that over the whole internet we can be meeting people from absolutely everywhere, but they always, the locals end up in as well there. I used to love Carl Sagan there in the Cosmos, where he was in the Ship of Imagination, i.e. the Dandelion Seed. Love anything astronomy. And Carl Sagan was a brilliant science communicator there. I think definitely a few of our current ones could take a leaf out of the book. And he was very interesting because he was publicly initially quite open to aliens, to UFOs, and to all of the things like that. And then something happened, and he was publicly not dismissive, and he wasn't rude about it, but he wasn't, he was like, it's very unlikely. He kind of took that stance. But in his works, in his writing, in his films that he produced, and the books and things, he was very much open to the aliens there. So it's kind of like he was shown something and told to shut up, but then still expressed it there. And abductees who have a fear claim the mantis type, and I would 100% fear a bloody giant insect there as well. And how are you doing as Alagos there? And Easter Island has very similar Birdman carvings, similar to the Super Asian King. Oh, I didn't know that about Easter Island. But again, that is an interesting place in itself there. Oh, it's having a sulk. And it's back there. Obviously, there was a UFO going over there, and the Men in Black just turned it off. Oh, space worm. There's a nice bright one. Can I catch it in time, guys?
Zoom mode activated.
Come on. Bloody thing. See if we can catch this one. There we go. Again, it's following a straight, steady path there, but will it do something strange? It's been a full reversal tonight. Normally it's the TikTok that keeps me going, but I'm just trying to get to the bottom of the YouTube one, and it keeps on going. But I love it there. Let's have a look there. And Elon Musk ruined the sky, and much harder to see things because of the satellites there. I mean, TSA, I know what you mean there. And again, this is what we're seeing tonight is nothing compared to how many it's going to be there, and that is a consideration. But also, the flip is that during the winter, we see none of these. So I think unless you're doing a proper all-sky survey, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue there the later on it gets. During the summer, yes, when the sun is still around to reflect off of those objects, like totally it kind of gets in the way a bit. But also, you know, you got to think of the benefits of these things as well, you know. That having communication to people, communication is like energy. It's very, very important there. So I think that's it's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? But you know, it does have an element. What cost does it come? Do we consider the cost, especially when it's things like how congested it is up there and how close we are to something like potentially Kessler syndrome? You know, is it worth risking that? It's an equation I couldn't figure out there. And Antarctic grey aliens behind the computer screen there. Have to have a look there. And abductees who have fear claim the mantis types. Oh no, I've done those. Oh, I must have jumped ahead there. Where we go back to where we are. I trust aliens way more than I trust politicians. Some people say they're the same. There, but exactly, I think, you know, trust politicians as far as you can throw them there. And I reckon you would pop in Egypt or Pumapunka there. Your thoughts are, man, I would love to visit both of those. I mean, I'm going to be very unhappy if I do not get to visit Egypt. And then when you're in Egypt, which part there? Egypt is such a fascinating land. So I think there's going to be a lot of answers there that might, you know, paint this picture a little bit better there. And again, Pumapunka as well. Like, just so many ancient sites that I think, you know, will be valuable to us there. And when me and my cousin saw on one while boating, it looked like a soda can, but all silver there, and we freaked out and boated away there and looked away from what I was telling her. Don't look at it, and just rode away. I would get that reaction. I totally get it when I've been outside physically doing these Skywatches. And I've seen certain things that have really sent that shiver up my spine. So hopefully, as the summer draws in, we're going to do more on-location Skywatches like this. We take our little Skywatching rig out and about, and we'll all be able to join together, and you'll be able to see me looking a bit Scooby-Doo there. Mentioned the speed of our solar system is an anomaly. Something seems to be pulling it from the Milky Way. Oh, I didn't know that, the speed, but there are lots of interesting things around that. I mean, they do think that maybe, it's strange that a star, like our star, which is very complex, the amount of metals and heavy elements it's got in it, that we're this far out in the solar system. Normally, you need the older stars, you need to be close to the middle, but maybe we're, you know, some luck, we've had this type of star in this safer spot. But apparently our sun, they've found around 6,000 or over 6,000 potential solar siblings for our star, all spread out amongst the Milky Way there. Lots of cousins around there. God, where are we in the chat? And I'm going to skip a couple here. It was about 3 stories high and about 18 feet wide. That is substantial. Just seeing something like that anyway would knock you out, let alone to say it as being anomalous as well there. You have to question everything, research and examine data, and only allow yourself to believe the findings. Oh, there we go. The camera's come back. I have no idea why it does this sulk. But anyway, let's put the brightness up again. There you go. So this will allow it to actually be much better. Oh, fuck it. Come on. I have no idea why it's screwing me around like this. Oh, no, back again. There we go. That'll do for now. On that one. I saw that moving to the left there. I've been missing so many tonight. I read that Robert Johnson wrote his Crossroads. He said there was aliens, not to the devil. Oh yes, some of these things do match quite well. I've got some tangents to go on around those ones. So everybody, you don't have to read all the messages. Oh no, I do like it. I like it. This is, and I do want to read everybody's messages. So TikTok, I will get back to you guys in a second though, because this is the bit that I find interesting. I've got one eye on the big monitor, and if I see something strange enough, I will catch it. But in the meantimes, I love to hear your accounts of the phenomena there. Again, we're painting this picture. You know, more data points, the more accuracy, so I do love to hear about all of those. And I read a comment on another show about Johnson, and I stuck with me. There are some very interesting correlations with all of the spiritual, the angels, the devils and things, and some scientific arguments for it as well there. And how you doing at DFA? Good to see you. And thank you for joining us there, Thomas there. Trump is allegedly going to declassify the UFO files there. Do you think he really will? Or that it's a distraction? I think definitely a distraction, but it doesn't mean we aren't going to get it, at least in some form. There's a lot of talk around it, like a lot of talk around that one. And about pyramids that we have before. A YouTube channel must be deleted. They don't want it, but we have the information, and we have to investigate UFOs. Honestly, I think this thing, the more connected we are, the more they can try to censor certain conversations, and that goes for politically as well as the weird stuff that we're into as well. But the more connected we are, the harder it is going to be. Hello, darling. Are you off or something?
I'm going to bed.
Oh, could you do me a favour? Could you get me a cold drink? I've been out of drink for ages.
Coke or water?
I have a Coke. Thanks.
We're nearly out.
Yeah, sorry. But they just won't be able to. They won't be able to stop that communication, because if they stop the things that they want us to not talk about, they will also be stopping growth, progress, the sharing of ideas in general, commerce. You know, if they throttle the system too much, then they'll throttle the economy, and that will stop them there. And I love skywatching; it's beautiful, and huge there as well. I think we can all agree it is stunning. Right, TikTok. Let me try and find where I was in the chat there. Sorry, guys, it's taken me so long there to see if you're in here as well. Antino there, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight there? And Oi there, thank you, darling, there. I didn't believe the stars came back. The camera had its sulk, but back in the other direction. It was cloudy, but alas, the skies have cleared for us again. It's going to be a long one tonight there. And oi there, I didn't believe it until me and my daughter saw an orange triangle while watching the Percy's Meteor Show. See, I think you mentioned that one. Orange triangles, very anomalous. What is there in nature as an excuse for what that could be there? And there's nothing definitely in traditional aircraft or aerospace technology as well. Very anomalous, but very clearly so. I love that. And Harry, excuse me, do you reckon I should go outside and look through my telescope? I mean, if you can, it's always worth it. You never know what you're going to see there. Kate coming in with the gifts, Kaz and Oscar, thank you for the gifts, guys. Do appreciate those. Sorry I didn't thank you closer to the time there. I'm so all over the shop tonight there. But all the gifts, the subs, the patrons, they do go back into the stream there. Speaking of the patrons as well, when's our next deep dive? It's going to be next Friday, I think, or is next Friday Movie Club? I can't remember now. But guys, if you do want a little bit more, we've got a little Discord. They're obviously free to join there. Lots of news in the UFO world, interesting things, but a really cool personal experiences section where a lot of you guys are sharing your latest information on, or your latest experiences with the phenomena there. Images and videos too, so you can go in and have a look for those or add to them. We'd love to hear from you over there. But we also do a monthly movie club. It might be next Friday. Is it next Friday? Or is next Friday deep dive? Let me look at my calendar. Yes, so next Friday is going to be the movie club there. So we chat along, we all put the same film on, we vote on it. I think it's going to be Paul, the Alien film, so we vote on an Alien film each month, and then we put it on, we all press play at the same time and chat along in the Discord. It normally goes very sideways and unhinged, but you're all welcome to join us, even just quietly. It's always a bit of a laugh there as well. And when on the tubes, looked like the Flash there, and that was called flared, like a pinky purple colour. I clipped it, so I'm going to have a look, because that was interesting. The bit I caught out of the corner of my eye, that was very, very anomalous. In fact, I'm going to hit the button.
Anomalous object confirmed.
Delayed, but I'm clicking the button for that one. There, and Max, thank you for the follow. If you're still with us, where are you joining us from tonight? Good to have you in there. Sorry for the delay there. My intuition is a pain in the butt there. I mean, that is the flip of it, isn't it? Sometimes you just don't want to know. And Blue Nose there, do you think the camera quality is a bit naff tonight there? So that was before. Yes, is the answer, Blue Nose. Sadly. This, I don't know if it's the camera or if it's the software. I can't narrow it down anymore. But essentially, what we're viewing on the bit of software that takes the camera feed in, you can adjust the brightness settings on it, and it does it itself. And then it won't let you readjust it. So right now it's not too bad, but I'm constantly running downstairs tonight, changing the camera thing and stuff. So it's changed back to the better one, but it's still not perfect there. Andrewski there, my mum has that blood type. Really? So I don't even know what blood type I am, but there is a lot of contextual information that there is something a bit weird about it. And you look at our development as humans, it does look to be so different to anything else here on Earth that, a little bit of playing around, a little bit of some, could have well happened there. And Oscar, I've fallen asleep and woken back up there, and you're still streaming there. When do you sleep? Are you Batman? Oh, Oscar, last summer, because we're getting later because of the time it gets dark there, we were on until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I was up for work at 8. I burnt the candle at both ends then, but it's an interesting night tonight there. It's lovely and clear, so I'm going to stay on until I start yawning, I think, tonight there. M to the C, good, loving the stickers there, and it could be condensation on the lens. So we've had that before. I actually got a little heater on it now to hopefully prevent that one there. I don't know if it's just janky, because it is a second-hand camera, and sometimes they do play up. Well, it seems to play up quite consistently, but yeah, without having another one to compare it against, I didn't minimize. Is the problem down to the camera, or is it somewhere else? And Leanne, thank you for the gifts there, appreciate that. Goes towards the new camera there. And he's Batman. I am the dark, or what is I am the night. There we go. Right, press Starman. And evening, Johns, how are you doing there? Have you got any good shots lately there? Oh, and DJ Black Hole, so that was related to something pulling out of the universe. So, I mean, we've measured black holes here, and even other galaxies. So these things are pulling a whole galaxy, so it's bigger than any black hole that we know. Maybe there's like a super massive one or something. Like, it's got to be something that's got just weird gravitational interactions there, so may well be there. Blue Nose, thank you for the star map. Very kind of you there. And it all goes back into the stream there. Thank you, sir. And John said, so I'm imaging the Whirlpool Galaxy this evening there. 2 galaxies pulling together. Phenomenal. I didn't know that about the Whirlpool Galaxy, and honestly, some of the images we see from space. So if you're out on our Discord, John, we'd love to see those images in there. We've got a good media tab for that. But yeah, I mean, they do think, don't they, that oh, we've got some more movement. They do think that is it the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy that's orbiting us?
Zoom mode activated.
They do think that merged with the Milky Way a long time ago, and that merger may have provided the extra material to make our sun, and therefore our solar system, and its siblings, but also then throw them out from the dangerous inner center of the galaxy to the more stable suburbs where we are now. So yeah, very, very interesting. Where's that one going? It's coming off screen for you guys. So space is very, very weird. Like, keep an eye on that one, guys, and see if it does anything strange, because we are looking for anomalous movement, anomalous behavior there, because that is what is going to tell us that what we have is something more interesting than a satellite there. And it's your knowledge and your honesty and your questions and personality that makes your life so good. Oh, thank you, Drew. It's very, very good. But I feed off of you guys. I literally, it's what you guys ask sets off a prompt somewhere, so it's 100% you. Look, nature puts on the show. I can't take credit for that, and you guys provide the cool questions and the awesome experiences. So 100%, I can't take credit. It's got to be you guys. Grandad M, how are you doing? Good to see you there. And Oya there. I can't get my head around how big space is there, where it came from, and what it's for, and why it's there. Oya, 100%. Like, have you seen those animations where it kind of starts off like Google Earth, it zooms out, then goes to the solar system, the galaxy, all the way out to the known observable universe. And it's just mind-bendingly scale. It's so amazing to see there. But what is the universe in? What was there before that? These are questions that I have had since the beginning. A lot of people have them there, and they probably say don't really know. It is still just a lot of guesswork there, and gone there, and makes you think the UK is safe if UFOs aren't getting shot out of the sky when they're leaving the crop circles there. We just ain't got the budget for it. That's what it is. You see how long it took us to send a ship, didn't it, to the old Straits of Hormuz or wherever it was? We're about 3 weeks late to the party with these sorts of things there. And how are we going to destroy missiles aimed at us? Yeah, we ain't got a chance. The budget ain't there for it there. And Drewski there, too many fake crop circles, and that ruins the real ones. It's, Drewski, you're not wrong there. But it's with everything, isn't it, there? Whether it is images, whether it's video, whether, you know, AI now. And there are so many things. It's just part of something that we have to, you know, learn to overcome there. And it was the same back in the day. Printed words were authority, because it was only the church that could afford to have a printing press, you know, or books even. It was, you know, the monks were the only ones who had the time to sit there and spend their life writing a book. So if it was in the book, it was pretty much treated as true. But then technology progresses, you know, literacy expands, other people have access to technology, and therefore it's just not as what it was before. And, you know, the same was with photos, you know, photographs. If you've got a photo, that's a snapshot of reality, and then people learn how to manipulate those photographs. We had to get with that, and we've got the same battle now with AI. But CropSec was a brilliant collection there, you know, like, you know, there is going to be some that are possibly real. There's definitely some very interesting ones, but you can never fully eliminate human shenanigans from it there, can you there? And the only thing I could find on the internet that looked like it was the new hypersonic glider there. It looked like it was skimming the atmosphere, and the orange shimmered like the friction. Oh, so yeah, maybe. I hadn't even considered that, because there is it the Aurora? No, that was the U2 spy plane replacement, wasn't it? There, Drewski as well there. Thank you for the rose, appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. Yeah, there was another one that has been up there like a year. They've been tested. It's an autonomous, reusable, kind of like the space shuttle, but smaller, unmanned. So maybe there's technology like that, but again, it still does work very, very prosaically. Guys, if you are just joining us, I'm just about to get back over to the Tubers chat, so we'll hopefully hear from you all there in a second. But if you are just joining us, we're doing a live UFO, UAP, Skywatch tonight. These are the skies live from Wiltshire in the UK. We're right in the heart of crop circle country, and just down the road from Stonehenge here, not too far from Glastonbury in the other direction here. Very ancient, mysterious landscape of a long history of the weird and wonderful. In fact, this little town that we are in has its own UFO flap. It lasted 10 years in the 60s and 70s. It was called the Warminster Thing, hence the name of the channel. So lots of weird stuff has happened in these skies. So do keep your eyes peeled, and we'll zoom in on the good stuff. We've had a couple of very interesting ones already tonight. There now, right, where were we? Over in the chat there. Paul Ashworth there. Howdy all, how are you doing? Good to have you in. Whereabouts in the UK are you from there, Shirley? On August 29th, 2023, I saw a large UFO outside of our Earth. It was a perfect triangle, and it lasted 3 seconds until it left, and they went out one by one. Very interesting. We saw triangle formation once, so we've seen a few times of like the triangle 3 dots, and there is a satellite constellation up there, which is, I think it's a gravitational wave detector. It's a scientific experiment. That is a triangle formation, but as far as I know, that's the only one that's a side-by-side, not a one-by-one sort of chase there, but a side-by-side formation. But we saw once what appeared to be this triangle formation just kind of float like this over our, just above me here off, and it appeared to be the triangle shape was blocking out the stars from behind it. Appeared. So that might be the only time that we've seen something like that. But I do think a lot of the reverse engineered craft there are the reverse engineered TR-3B from the Americans there, but not all of them. You know, there is some proper UFO ones as well there. And Stonehenge is cool there. We wanna, that is our list. We are going to be doing a live Skywatch like this. We've got a little mobile rig live from Stonehenge at some point. Can you imagine that? You'll have a shot of the night sky, but have the stones just in shot as well. Just you'll see the tops of them there, because there's so many crop circles around there. UFO sightings around there, you know, it's a connection there as well. And Sothenia Pardonia, what's that there as well? And good to have you in there. And Aligos as well, they're joining from Phoenix. Love a little bit of Arizona. I've technically been to Arizona. I've put my foot in Arizona. I just literally crossed the border, so I could say there. But Arizona, again, long history with the phenomena, a long history of crashes and things like that. Is it Kingman? Or was Kingman in Arizona as well there? Oh, the Ring of Fire there as well, and yeah, and the Great Attractor there, a massive hidden gravitational anomaly pulling the Milky Way. That was it, brilliant one there, Chris. So the Great Attractor, I'd forgotten the name of that, but that is some of these names as well. They are like proper Doctor Who villains, aren't they? What could it be there? Stable shear. What's that one for there? So thin. Is it so thin? So thin? And so, 2C Blaze, good spotting. Now I'm a bit far behind on the chat, but we'll zoom in next time if I catch it there. St. Augustine, Florida. I love it as well. Have you seen anything in the night sky? I've got a few people from your way there, so it's very, very active. Oh, there we go. There's a faint one. Can we just catch this?
Zoom mode activated.
It's going to come in. There he is. So it's quite faint. I missed it for most of the screen there. But again, this is the minute it's following a straight path, a consistent speed, consistent trajectory there. Therefore implying that it's probably just a satellite until it does something strange. So a satellite just can't do there. We cannot say for sure that it is something anomalous there. And Andrew Collins lived at Avebury there as well. Again, Avebury's just down the road, not too far. And that is a bigger stone structure than Stonehenge, isn't it there? So it's not the stacked stones, but they are big lumps of rock that are upright, and there's a little town, a little village inside of that stone circle. I haven't actually been there, even though it's just down the road. It is on my list. Lots of strange things in this landscape there. And Christine there, a video titled Cosmic Eye begins with a close-up of a young woman's eye. They're sitting on the grass, then zooms out rapidly from her eye through the Milky Way and out to the largest scales of the universe. I find those things really humbling, but in a good way. Like, all of a sudden I go, the scales of the universe, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's just lovely. I find it quite comforting in a strange way to know that I'm not important there. I love to see those ones there. It's just, it's the definition of awe-inspiring there. It is awesome seeing that there. It's amazing to see that one. I can imagine there as well. Where are we? Over back to the tubes there. Oh, Kate, you've got to go there. The fatigue has won there, Kate. Kate, well, you've done very, very well. So thank you for hanging on there. I do appreciate that, Kate. And hopefully get some rest. And soon you'll be able to join the pirate crew there when you get your Xbox sorted out to there. And the universe is not there. Oh, so what do you mean by that there? Is this that it isn't as we interpret it? What do you mean? What's that one there? Getting redacted? Retracted? Why is it getting retracted? I don't even think we've got any mods on there. Open, try again. I don't know why that's... your messages are coming up as redacted, but I can't see why. So I can't read them. Sorry about that. I have no idea why that is happening. Maybe it's a YouTube filter's gone a bit crazy. We tend to have that problem on TikTok. It filters people for silly things without any reason there. But yeah, so that is what we're doing. Guys, yeah, we're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch. Here we go. We've got another one in and out. Let's just zoom in on this one.
Zoom mode activated.
This is a little bit faster. Probably for a little bit closer, but is it going to follow that straight, consistent trajectory there, consistent speed? Because we need to see... Oh, ET, realise he's left the gas on. I'll come in for you guys on TikTok in a second. There you go. ET realizes he's left the gas on to do an interstellar handbrake turn. They're right on the screen, so we can see, that it's not a satellite there, because that is behaviour that satellites just can't do. They're quite passive. They're falling to Earth in a bigger circle there. They can't change their direction or their speed or things like that. So if we see, go like that, or the right angle turn, or just stop and hesitate, anything like that will tell us it's not one of the many, many satellites up there. That seems to have happened again there. Open HQ. What is it giving you a message saying that it was an error or something? Or is it saying you're being filtered? But I don't think we've got any mods in to be doing that. Where are we there? No, that's it. Yeah. Weird. Guys, if you are there, if you've got any questions, fire away. Let us know what you're thinking. There are no silly questions here as well, so feel free to ask away anything there. It's an opportunity for us all to learn a little bit about what is going on, our place in the universe, and how it all works there. And we're up to... Oh my god, look, we've caught up with both chats tonight. There we go. It's happened eventually. We've caught up with the chat. So, yeah, do ask away. Excuse me. Sorry about that, wrong hole. Yeah, do ask away. Let us know where you're watching from, but make sure that you are following as well there, because we do something like this every night. If it's clear, we're doing the live UFO Skywatch like we're doing tonight.
Zoom mode activated.
Where's that one gone? There it is. If it is a cloudy night, then we search for potential alien radio signals coming in from amongst the stars. We search on a frequency called the hydrogen line. That is the channel on the radio dial where scientists theorize that if ET is out there, this is where, that is where they would put the message, hello, is anybody else out there? And we have heard some very anomalous signals in the past there that science just cannot explain. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed or following, whichever it is, on whatever platform there, so you can join us. I think this week coming, we have got a lot of Skywatches. The weather is looking good, which means we're going to be burning the candle at both ends, watching the night sky here from Wiltshire for the strange and anomalous. Now, keep an eye on this one that we're tracking there, so it does anything strange there. Loving the stickers, Blue Nose. Where is my cursor? There. And what setup are you using there, Christine? So we've got a camera. It's a digital camera, Sony A7, that is outside. It's on a little pan and tilt head. In fact, so we spin the camera around. Let's see if it works. It has a habit of not working. Hold your hats, spin the camera. There we go. Oh, ever so slightly. Let's see what we can spot in the night sky here. In fact, this is a boring patch of sky. Let's go back the other way. Let's go even further around the other way. See what we can see there. So we've got a little pan, right pan tilt head that you can see here. But it's Sony A7 on a very long lead. And it comes in to the computer, which then we stream out to you guys. Is there any activity over this patch of the sky? Oh, look, there's an orange one. Come on, cursor.
Zoom mode activated.
Oh, so this one here that's coming up, a little bit different. So it's a bit orangey, which is interesting because, again, if it's a satellite, it is just reflecting that sun's light back to us still. Which means at this time of night, it's got to be quite far away. There, it's off the screen now. Quite far off the Earth's surface, quite a high altitude there to still be able to catch the sunlight. 'Cause the sun's probably gone round by now, properly so. But that orange colour is interesting because if it's reflected light, it should be pretty much just the white light, like we're seeing most of the action. It's just that white light tonight there. But why are we getting the orange colour there? Orange is theorised that the plasma from a UFO would, you know, from part of their propulsion, would appear very orange to us there. And can you describe the signal chain for what you are seeing there? Oh, camera type and signal and flow, please. Yes, we did it there. Oh, something is moving. It excites me. It's like a lot, really. We start noticing. Oh, they got something there. You got something there living. Totally, I feel that one. Excuse me. It's quite a complicated signal chain for this. I say it's complicated. It's camera, it's the Sony A7, and it comes basically into a capture card, and it comes into one computer, and then I export the desktop of that computer into the streaming computer, and the streaming computer then goes out to multiple platforms, adds all the other overlays and stuff like that as well. But other than that, it is just a camera capture card. It's quite simple. We do have some tracking software which is broken at the minute because I'm building it myself, but as you saw earlier on how active the skies can be, and we're still not fully round to summer yet when that light is going to be most available. Like, I mean, think about top was 9 objects on the screen moving at once, but in the summer we've seen 15 or more, or sorry, 14 or more there, and so we have to watch those to make sure, you know, we're looking to see that change of course and speed there. So you've got to follow the whole thing across the screen. If there's 15, that's very difficult to do, very difficult to notice those changes. So we've built a tracking software which basically identifies the movement, sees if it's gone in a straight path, so there's a satellite there, and uses that straight path to basically predict its straight path in front of it, which is the satellite will follow a straight path, and then it follows it along the predicted path. If it stays on the predicted path, it is green. If it deviates from the predicted path, it goes red, and therefore saying, like, look at these ones, helping us filtering it out. It does look a little bit like Star Wars, or the lines across the screen is like that, but it is useful when it works. But yeah, it's a bit janky at the minute there. And do flash, what's that? Oh, flash in D1. Oh, where's D1 there? Okay, very interesting. So flashes again can be quite interesting, right? So this box up here, guys, keep spotting in there, because same flash from the same position, then it can, you know, over the same period of time, if it appears that it is still, that's very strange. Everything up there is moving, it's in motion. So if it stayed in the same place for long enough there to appear to flash back to us there, that is an anomaly there. We're not in the area for geostationary satellites there, so it is a very, very strange there. And Marcus and Trish, well, thank you, Marcus. Everybody, when you're claiming that on TikTok, do thank Marcus for that one. Yeah, so again, there are certain things. Again, you've got the Lagrange points, that's where you can put things that park, but we can't from this distance with this camera. With no way we can see anything reflecting from one of those. Again, the geostationary satellites are predominantly equatorial, and we're not looking in that part of the sky. So again, if it is appearing to, if it's close enough that we're seeing it flash, you know, and again, a flashing object is because it's rotating like this, and as it rotates, it catches the light, goes dark, catches the light, goes dark. So if it can be a very slow rotation, you know, it can take minutes to do the thing, or even longer, but that's essentially what's causing that flash there. But if it's staying still, if it's not moving across the screen as it's rotating, that takes a lot of energy. A lot of energy. There's only a few orbits you can really do that in there, so it can be very, very anomalous there. One-off flashes, now satellites can appear to flash there, but the singular ones, the really bright sparks, they call them like iridium flares, and that is normally Blue Nose, thank you for the gifts. That's very, very kind of you. So it all goes back into the stream, but yeah, satellites can normally, if they're on there, right, they're flying around. Hold on, let's get my prop again. Right, if they're flying around, and you can imagine, see this one, look, it catches the light there. So literally versus the sun, flashes, that one flash can be that basically there. But if it's multiple flashes, it's normally because the object itself is rotating and getting it on its orbit every time. So it can be very anomalous there. Oh, and that one's come through there. You have to see the real image of a satellite. That's not you have you ever seen a real image of a satellite that's not generated by data? So, as in, yeah, I've seen the images of the satellites when they're loading them up into the rockets and things like that. But from here, I mean, yeah, I suppose it's the data in the sense of we see the light movement and things like that. Yeah, I don't think I've seen one that close. I've seen some interesting people that with telescopes looking at the moon, and they've seen some go over shots there. Oh, D3. Oh, C2. I can't. I know I was a bit slow on that one. There is a bit of a delay on YouTube as well for some reason, so I'll see if I can check around it. No, I can't see there, but anomalous flashing can be annoying. Keep it up. Hopefully I'll catch it in time next time there. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, there's lots of strange things up there. When people say, where are all the aliens? Where is the evidence? There is a lot of evidence. There is a hell of a lot of evidence there. It's just what they mean is, where is the 100%? Where is the smoking gun evidence? And we don't have that yet. But that is mainly a product of our sensors, of our current technology and stuff like that. You don't ever see a real satellite image. How do you mean? Do you mean like what they're putting up there and they're saying that this is what this is what it looks like? You're saying that actually they're lying about that and that's just a fake one? Or is it, did you mean in the sense that when we're seeing this now, I mean, we're seeing the reflection of light, so it's not necessarily representative of the size, because that is what is happening there, isn't it? But yeah, there's so much data. You know, in fact, I mean, it looks like, as my favourite one here, is that we've known that there is a life on Mars, currently life on Mars. Let's spin the camera back around there. And we detected it back in the 70s twice there. And the reason that NASA decided to ignore their own experiment and say it was a failed experiment was because of another experiment that they knew was flawed. Hold on, let's get this back here. This might be a more active part of the sky. Because because there was another experiment. They didn't detect organics with another experiment there, and they thought you had to have organics for there to be life, so therefore the other test must be wrong because there's no organics there now, and they knew actually at the time that the other test wasn't 100% reliable. And we now know that there is organics absolutely everywhere on Mars, but they haven't revisited those tests, the label release experiments done on both Viking missions. that said there was positive light. Now, what does that mean? If there is not only life on Mars, but as you know, there is life on Earth, and how much life there is on Earth, how diverse the life is here on Earth, but also potential detections in the clouds of Venus too. Mark, how are you doing there? Thank you for the gifts, appreciate those. How's your weekend going? But yeah, if there's 3 planets close together and they've all got life, what does that say about the rest of the universe? It says that life is going to be as abundant as it is here on Earth. There is an organism for every niche, a species for every environment, isn't there? Nature will roll the dice as many ways as possible. And interestingly, life on Earth started far earlier than they first thought. It seems to be not just that Earth was habitable, and then that Earth... they thought Earth would be habitable. It'd be a while because, random events would have to, what's the chances of life, the events happening there for life to develop. But no, it actually looks like that the second the Earth was habitable, Earth cooled down enough to support even the most basic form of life, it looks like it's had it there. So life, again, is always going, it doesn't seem to be rare. Doesn't seem to be hard. Another group of scientists as well did the maths, did the adding up on how many oh god, my brain's gone dead there. They did the maths on how many steps, there we go, evolution as we understand it would have taken to come from sort of a very simple single cell life form to multicellular complex life. And when they did the maths, it looked like we're 2 billion years short for life to have developed from scratch here on Earth. And it looks like, so maybe, oh, there we go. Oh, and it's back to bright again. There we go. Let me crank that down for you guys. Okay. It'll sulk back in a minute. Bloody camera. Always doing that. And again, I have no idea why it's doing that. But yeah, so where did those 2 billion years come from? Where did life develop that quickly? Well, funnily enough, Mars was habitable for 2 billion years before the Earth as well there. And oi, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate those. All goes back into the stream. And there. Has Alan's pet gift still not back? No. And we were using koalas for a while, and then they got rid of them the next day. So it's like they don't want to feed Alan.
Zoom mode activated.
It's like Alan's... Oh, where's that one gone? We just zoomed in. It's buggered off. So it's not as good when it's like this, but it'll have a sulk and it will turn back on itself there. Let's have a look. You think most of them stars have planets around them? So, Christine, now that is a brilliant question, because we didn't know. Until, I think it's like the late 90s, we didn't know if that was the case, or if our solar system was unique. And that is actually where most of the scientific skepticism for life comes from there. So the scientists, or the fields of science that aren't directly in this sort of area, they're still a bit behind. They're still on that old thing there where we didn't know that there were other planets around stars there, so therefore, is it possible? But now we do know. Now we know, in fact, we're detecting that there is multiple planets around most, if not all, stars. So therefore, it's just a numbers game. Life is going to be abundant. So the official mainstream astrobiological community there are Ben as well. Thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom. Thanks, guys.
The mainstream astrobiological community there are basically saying, that life is abundant. Life is going to be absolutely everywhere. It's just they won't say multicellular, they won't say complex, they won't say civilization yet. But the universe is CGI. So in a literal sense, I wouldn't say so. Or my opinion with it. But the more we're looking into consciousness and how the truths of reality, it does actually look like that there is. Well, look, we know we don't perceive base reality there. What is it? We do not have the sensors that shows us actually everything that's there, and we filter things out. We understand we filter what we see based on what we understand. So sometimes we can literally not see things that are there. But for example, we don't see infrared light. Some animals do, but we don't. Nothing has killed us enough to warrant evolutionarily to have that ability. So you know, we do not see the full reality, and what we are seeing, what we're perceiving, is rendered in our brains. You know, it's an interpretation of all that data. So in a sense, you know, there is room for manipulation there with that one. Oh, sorry there, Living, I missed that one. I think when I did try and zoom in on there in A2, but good spotting there. Hopefully I'll be able to catch up next time there. No, just aliens, mod the NOD and RNA there, and you have our humans for slavery. Well, that's part of it there. But if the universe is CGI, where did the aliens come from, though? Like, there's some more movement there, you know, because surely we need the universe for other planets and for extraterrestrials, if that is it. But I mean,
Zoom mode activated.
Extraterrestrials are not the only answer. I mean, when I got into ufology, it was Roswell, you know, flying saucers and all that sort of stuff, you know, little green men in metal spaceships. But no, there are many answers. It isn't just extraterrestrials, you know, things, beings from other planets around other star systems. It is also extratemporal. There's a time element in this, because if you're building a spaceship that is doing these distances, you're basically building a time machine as well. So the time is it us from the future? There's an evolutionary case to be made there that they're thinking that, or even us from the past. There are so many potential answers to this, and then you're taking in dimensions and things like that. There are many potential cases for what is going on, and maybe it's a little from column A and a little from column B and things like that one. And Nelly and Living Like Good spotting there. Did we catch it? I think it did. Oh, no, I missed that. It is a nice bright one. Good spotting there in the middle, coming towards the middle. Oh God, there it is. There we go. Again, straight and steady. We need to see it do something strange. We need to see it stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course, its trajectory. Something like that is something satellites just can't do. So that is what we need to see it do for us to immediately write off the normal explanations there. Now, it is a bit of an ask. We are asking a lot there. We need E.T. to realise he's left his keys at home and do an interstellar handbrake turn on screen there. So what is the chances of that? You know, there is a chance that I mean, as well, this time of night when we're seeing a lot less activity, that is because the sun now has gone round the back of the planet there. More Earth shadow, less light to be reflected off of these objects. So if we're now seeing so little because of that, how is this getting light? Is this so far out that it can still get the light back from the sun? But then if it's that far out, how big has it got to be that we can still see it there? Or is it not reflecting light at all like a prosaic object? Is it emitting it? Because if it's emitting it, then we immediately go into the camp of strange there, because we're only seeing the satellites because they reflect it, not because they've got big headlights on them. So if it's emitting it immediately, that does put us in the potential UFO territory there, something like that. And they do think that could be one of the things as part of their propulsion, could ionize the atmosphere, give them an involuntary orangey red glow there. And the aliens are just the neighbour dome there, and then they flying from there to this dome. So, okay, because that's actually quite interesting, because I'm not familiar with, you know, how the mechanics of those things work there. So is that, am I thinking with the domes, is that like the flat Earth argument, sort of, or the view there? So it's flat, there's dome over it, but what you're saying is that there are other domes. So what are, because I've not understood the argument, so this is quite interesting actually to hear how it's all structured in that view. So if you can jump between other domes, then what does that medium look like? What other domes are in? Is it kind of like space in this one? That's interesting there. We can't see 99% of that light spectrum there. Is it 99%? I know we can't see the ends of the light spectrum. We can't see 99% of the electromagnetic spectrum, because everything is technically on the same spectrum, whether it's radio waves, light waves, sound waves, everything is on, not sound waves, everything is on basically the electromagnetic spectrum. Which we can't visually see a lot of there, but I know we see actually quite a good chunk of the visual light spectrum there. That's what we call it, the visual light, because we can see it. But on either end, you've got the ultraviolet at the top end, and you've got the infrared at the bottom end there. And again, the phenomena does seem to be very active in the infrared there. And it is our job. At some point, we'll be upgrading the camera, so we can see in the infrared as well, because it's meant to be so active there. I think that'll be a total game changer for us. We're going to see so much more of the activity there. And the sun is inside the dome, and that's why we see sometimes multiple suns. And UAPs can teleport there, 2 of them are near the centre. Oh, have I caught that one in time? Oh, now, sorry, I'll catch it next time, Nelly, there. But UAPs can teleport. Now, that is interesting, because in theory, again, teleportation is one of those things that doesn't fully break physics there. I mean, we're starting to dabble in this world with certain quantum effects and quantum properties. Fully how it works and what we're capable of doing is debated. But again, it's one of those things. Oh, that was a good shooting star. Didn't you guys see that one? That was a nice bright blue flash there. That was cool. But yeah, what was the saying teleportation there? It's one of those things that we are starting to, the mainstream is starting to get a grip of the possibilities around that one there. Oh, it's near the top now. Oh, there it is. Yep.
Zoom mode activated.
Can I catch it? There we go. Oh, that's a slow one. So it's a very rough rule of thumb. If we are thinking about satellites and space junk, things that are just orbiting us there, very rough, but not scientifically true. Oh, you caught it there, Christine. Excellent. Not scientifically accurate, but it's a bit of a rule of thumb there. Like, the slower it's going, the further out it is there, because essentially satellites and those things, not strictly true, but they are roughly a similar sort of speed range, and therefore the same speed closer is going to appear faster than the same speed doing a bigger circle, you know? It's going to look, the further out, it's going to look like it's going slower there. And then again, size as well, size and brightness, very much the same thing with these. If it's bigger, I mean, satellites do come, and especially space junk comes in a range of sizes, but there are more common ranges. But at these distances, it's all pretty much the same size, whether it's 2 meters wide or 10 meters wide. At this sort of distance, it's very similar. There, so if something's bigger and brighter, it's probably closer to us and therefore able to reflect, most of that reflected light is able to reach us more. So speed and size can kind of give you a very rough rule of thumb of where it could be. But again, it's not scientific, but it gives us a bit of a guide there. The chessboard grid disappeared. Oh, you are right, it has disappeared. Oh, no, so what's happened, good point actually, we had this earlier, where the camera's spazzing out and going quite bright, where the actual grid is faded, for some reason it's showing on fine on TikTok, you can kind of just see the grid, I think, coming through, but it's basically too bright for it, but you can see the D there, so I really don't know what's up with this damn camera tonight. But thank you for the heads up there. Bottom of Spidey there. And Victor Grass there. Has anyone seen Starlink go over? So not tonight, but we have seen it this week. Phenomenal as always there. And teleportations. If you see the Skinwalker Ranch, there is a scene where a UFO goes through a mountain. I've heard something similar to that, but you don't necessarily need teleportation to do that. You know, we know that using a warp drive, which is possible with our current model of physics, just takes a lot of energy. You know, you can go through solid matter because you're essentially pushing out the matter around you there. You're passing through it and everything's folding and flying around you there. That's the one. Almost near the point of that. Oh, another flash. Now, so we need to see those repeats, but it can be very interesting there. Oh, you see the worms? Yeah, we call them space worms. So they're probably things like geese, bats, and things like that. We have a lot of bats that go over and a lot of geese at night for some reason here. And you see they're a bit organic. They bugger off around the place there. Bottom right is a busy. Oh, okay, let's have a look. I'll keep an eye on that patch there. And not all UFOs can teleport there. For example, 3i Atlas cannot. But there is also AMU, a UFO that can. I mean, just like in the same way that not all of our cars are autonomous, you know, technology would be spread amongst the things that will be it too. I think I missed it in time. There'll be more movement. There. Let's have a look. Back over to the TikTok chat. Sorry, guys. There. And Energyologist there. How you doing there? Yeah, we've had a few interesting sightings tonight. We've had a few. I'm sure there will be more. It is winding down as the night gets on, but we have seen a few there. Where are you joining us from there? And it's like the flashing, phasing in and out of building. So, oh, okay. So phasing is interesting because then you're getting back into the waves and how waves work, and that again is another supporting structure for these arguments, isn't it there? Skinwalker Ranch, be careful there. I mean, it's TV, isn't it? So there are things there. And if you vibrate at a fast enough speed, it's feasible that you can bend time and space. I've not heard about the that you can bend because of that, but the vibrations, we are essentially, we're not solid objects. That is a trick. It's a perception, isn't it? So that's there. Oh, UK. Well, we're UK as well. So good to have you in there. We are in Wiltshire, all right, in the heart of crop circle country. Let's have a look there. Oh, I thought I saw a black star then. I looked closer and it turned out to be a dot on my screen. I've done that. We've also got a dead pixel. It doesn't seem to be playing up this year, but last summer we kept picking, what's that red one? That red is just a perfectly deep red dot on the screen. It doesn't seem to be playing up now. We've had that one before. Rob, good to see you in there as well. Such a shame, but 100%. Yeah, it's a big shame. Very big contributor and very much missed in the community there. And surely, I say that so many times there. I've seen the live on YouTube there in Australia. There was 2 years ago. They started monitoring UFOs live, but last year they had to stop because it was too expensive. What was that? I'm not aware of that one. I didn't know they were doing that. Do you know what was the channel? I'll be curious to see, you know, if they've got any better ideas. Get some inspiration. It's not so. I mean, it's like any hobby, it can be expensive, but it's more the time that's a difficult one for me. And also fighting the British. Oh, there's one. Fighting the British weather. You know, picking a
Zoom mode activated.
Picking a live stream that requires it to be not raining and not cloudy is probably a bad idea here in the UK. Hence why we do our radio signal hunt, because it's cloudy a lot. So yeah, we need to see it do something strange. All right, so good spot there. Right, great idea for a channel, man. Oh, thank you. You know, honestly, I set it up initially because I thought just the sky was cool, but also I thought if I'm going to be monitoring, looking out to try and get my own evidence, maybe somebody will want to keep me company. And I've been blown away by actually how many other people you know, quite regularly keep us company overnight there. I mean, we had it's not obviously as busy over the winter because you know, it's cloudier and the issues there. But I mean, over on TikTok, because we're on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. Twitch's got nobody on it, but YouTube and TikTok have. But TikTok was the biggest platform over last time. We had like, you know, with some lives we had over 250, but we'd average about 130 to 150 people in, and I was like, how many people want to watch the sky? It's insane there. But surprisingly, actually, YouTube, you've kicked off tonight. This is the largest YouTube crew we have ever had. So thank you for that one, guys. That's interesting. That is interesting. Just had a thought there, guys. Appreciate it, though. Rob there. Oh, a space worm there, right side. Oh, seek foul. Can I have a look at that one? Let's see if I can copy it. Can I copy? Let's have a look. Oh, top and left. I can't see that one yet. Sometimes your guys, because you've got OLED screens on your phones and things like that, it's actually much better than my big screen. Where are we? Let's bring that back up there. Where are we? I do like to throw a curve. You keep me on my toes there, Agent X there. And Pine Gap is in Australia. It is. And that's where they have the direct energy weapon, isn't it? You know, I know it's, well, officially, it's our NSA, you know, Joint Intelligence Services listening base, but also they've got testing facilities around us. So it is the perfect place for something like that. Many people speculate a lot of UFOs kept there and things like that, isn't it there? And try looking at measuring, chakra frequency. Oh, I don't know if we can go down that low about kit there, but I've heard a lot about the old Schumann resonance and things like that, and it's not something I know a lot about. Our kit is actually framed or
Zoom mode activated.
tuned for listening to the hydrogen line, 1.420 there, because that's where scientists think that ET would be. But there are lots of other interesting frequencies, not just, you know, listening out specifically for aliens, but these other associated things there. But I know so little about it there. Oh, it's fading out there. It's fading out there. Now that probably means that whatever altitude, that's where the Earth's shadow is. This line here. So where the sun's going round, the Earth is causing a shadow there. Oh, thank you, Ed. I try, but I am a very fallible human, so I do get a lot wrong. But I try to be as open as possible there. But good to have you in. Again, it's the mix of people. Like, it's like we were talking about the chakra, and that's something that even if I'd seen that as like a video title, I probably wouldn't have clicked on that. But now you've mentioned it and said, oh, about this connection and the rate that there. I might, and again, you never know who's going to come in and what connections are going to be made there. So that's why I value this a lot there. Or 1016 or 1018 there. And I shared the direct energy weapon shooting a UFO 99. That does ring a bell. And it would make sense as well, wouldn't it, there? And if you may wish, what do you want to find? Oh, good question. You know what? That's a very good question. What do we want to find? But to what level? Yeah, I mean, I suppose for me, what I would love to see would be something that is just so clearly anomalous, and not in the technical sense, not in the sense that you've got to explain it. So we see a lot of light-based anomalies there, which you say, look, it can't be a satellite because of this movement, blah, blah, blah. But if you've got to explain it, it's not clear enough. I'd like to see a physical craft slowly passing by, but passing. I don't want it to hang around. That's what I'd love to see. And then everybody would say it's AI. But that's a good question there. And Phil Hill there. Can you size down front the top red textile? It's hiding huge part of the sky there. In theory, I possibly could. But the problem is, I'll be totally honest with it here, is that we have to play a bit of a game here. It's not so bad on YouTube, but on TikTok especially, they make you put in like lots of stuff because it's gamified. And if you don't do it, they penalise you from showing you to other people, so then you don't meet other people. And it's kind of similar. It's not as bad on YouTube, but the problem is, visually being a dark sky and there's not much movement, people scroll off of it quite quick, so you kind of need something that's big enough to catch it without there. But I get what you're saying, so maybe I'll have to have a look into it, but it is always a bit of a trade-off there as well. Moving up on the right, missed that one there as well. Robert loving that there. Are you human or not? Well, was human there, gazing at the sky together, living light 100%. It's such a nice little community that we've built here. We've been absolutely, it's just so lucky. But again, people are just coming in and sharing their experiences, so we're able to learn more together, but also hang out. That's what been my favourite part of it there. Maybe we have alien satellites hidden in with eyes. That is so probable. Now, it's whether it is likely is a difficult one, but it is highly probable. Like if we say that there is alien life out there and that they are civilizations and that it is possible to get the technology to do that, which again doesn't break physics, then just the sheer time the universe has been around and how long our life has been screaming at the rest of the galaxy, Earth has had life, then I think so much so. And there is somewhat some evidence there, Ben. Like the few parts of it for me are really jump out. I say it's the long delay echo phenomena in radio there. It sounds like we are getting a radio signal bounce from exactly where we would expect one of those probes to be, and it bouncing back, responding in the way we would expect. It's not consistent, but it is points very much to that way as well. The fact that we have all of these objects that are tracked in our orbit, or in orbit of Earth, sorry, that we don't know what they are and we don't know where they came from. So there could just be quite a lot of satellites up there. I mean, you reports things like the Dark Knight, but I think there's more and more evidence now coming out that that's what the shuttle program was actually for. Because you tend to find that those scientific projects, the ones that cost a lot of money, all here's a bit of movement, are actually always secret military projects.
Zoom mode activated.
Science can rarely get the money it needs for these things. It has to have an adjacent real-life military justification to get the large money. And the space shuttle wasn't like an incremental improvement on the Apollo era. It was a whole curveball, expensive thing in of itself. Oh, there's two there. I didn't even notice that bottom one. for a second. There we go. Look at these two tracking along there. So I think there would have been a military use for that one there. And hey, it had a cargo bay and it had a crane. In fact, it did satellite repair work. So I think it was probably put up there to have a look, at the very least for the Russian satellites, but also for probably those checking out what those things were that are in our orbit that are flagged up, the anomalies there. So this is bigger and brighter, so it's probably closer, but this one's faded out. That's weird. Okay, that's working backwards. So bigger, brighter, it implies closer, right? And if it's closer, that Earth shadow is further along in that direction. So that should have gone darker quicker, but no, the one that looked further away went darker first. So this one might be an anomaly. It might be emitting light, which definitely puts it in the UFO category. We're going to call it an anomaly.
Anomalous object confirmed.
Thank you, computer. Zoom out. You keep an eye on that one as it goes. It's coming off the edge there. So yeah, I think the satellite, the space shuttle was possibly used for that purpose there, because, you know, it makes a bit of logical sense. But also, this is what sold it for me, because I didn't really believe or put any weight in secret space programs. I thought space was far too loud, noisy, expensive, too many people involved to be doing anything too secretive there. But when I saw the pictures, and these are real pictures, well documented, that there was a parallel launch facility for the space shuttle, not on the east coast of Cape Canaveral, but on the west coast at Vandenberg Air Force Missile Testing Range. They're fully equipped, ready to go. Then you're thinking, okay, why would they have done that one? You don't just need a backup for a space shuttle mission. It was nothing there was critical. They were just going up and coming back down. You know, that's very interesting. But Vandenberg, out of the way from prying eyes, you know, it's a missile testing range for secret military, you know, you can't get near it there. And again, we don't actually have a good lock on. We don't know everything that comes in and out of our orbit. Even to this day, we don't have a good, it's not like, you know, air traffic radar around your country where they immediately know if something's in your airspace. No, there's a lot of holes when it's coming in and out of Earth's orbit. So they could have, and there's images of the space shuttle at Vandenberg there set up, ready to go. So maybe they did do the odd mission up there, had a look at what was floating around. I reckon that was probably its use there. I mean, just looking, I mean, the Arecibo space telescope, the one that sent the message, you know, the hello, we're Earthlings on this planet, we sent our SETI message from that was actually a military defense dish, and then they handed it over to science afterwards. The Hubble Space Telescope that we all know and love, and all the work that it did, is, you know, that was, I think it was Hubble, I'm pretty sure it was Hubble, that was basically a leftover CIA satellite, and they went, we don't want this anymore, NASA, do you want it? And they went, yeah, we'll just turn it the other way and put a different lens on it. Brilliant. I think it was Hubble. But a lot of these things, again, science doesn't necessarily get the money. The older military stuff does there. Maybe we have alien satellites in. I've done that one there. And when you tune in, how will you interpret decimal hexagram? You know what? Good question. No idea on that. I haven't thought that part ahead there. So when we're doing our excuse me, our alien radio signal hunts, it's not so much deciphering the signal, it is just detecting what could be a technological alien radio signal there coming from deep amongst the stars. It's more about filtering out the natural and the Earth-based explanations and then going, hey, this is anomalous, this is great, rather than the next step there. And Patrick there, any fireballs sighted? The live shower, good way of wording it there. We've had about 2 or 3 tonight. Yeah, so we've had a couple there. How you doing, Patrick? And if you take 369 hertz and review the third harmonic, it calculates to 3. Oh my goodness, and does this mean anything? That is beyond me scientifically. It sounds very interesting there, but beyond my brain there. I'm not a details person. I'm big picture. Well, I'm glad to hear it there, Patrick. I'm sure we'll hopefully catch a few more as well tonight if you hang around. And where are we? And Zach Keza there. Hi, I love skywatching, but I am in a high, light polluted city and not far from here, and I can't drive, so difficult to get anywhere. Oh, Kez, I feel you there. I really do. So I moved just over a year ago here to the country, to Wiltshire, and I came from Essex, which was very, very light polluted there, and just I paid no attention to the sky because it was either the moon or clouds, and even one you couldn't really see that well. It wasn't yeah, it just wasn't on my radar. And then literally the first night we're here, and you know, I stick my head out in the garden and I go, oh my god, I can see the stars and I can see satellites with my own eyes. I can see, this is going to sound so silly, but I could see that Mars was red with the human eye. I just assumed that you could only see that in the telescope, but you could see that it was red. I was blown away, and that was a big part of what I thought, is other people going to want to see this? Do they want to hang out? That and the fact that we had a big UFO flap here as well. There. So you are more than welcome, all welcome to join us here. I said we do this pretty much every night, and we have people that come with us, that hang with us for a couple of weeks or a couple of months there, and we have other people that that will stay with us years every night, and we're just staring at the skies together. It's quite a cool little community, and it's all very casual there. So you are welcome very much among us there. Oh, middle right, Nelly, good spot in there, but I am so slow behind the rest there. But keep it up there. And Paul there, my money is on the top one to win. Hey, that's what we should start doing. There's a whole side hustle there. I like that. They're going to start doing betting on it. Yeah. And it's fascinating there. I think it is. I think space and science is absolutely fascinating. Look, you know, would I bet the house that any one particular UFO encounter is real? I don't know. I don't know that. But do I think aliens are out there? 100%. You know, and then in everything else is in between there, and this is an exploration to see what that evidence is and get more of an objective picture there. Centre moving, good spot in there, Tracy. A bit far behind in the chat there, so I think I've missed it there. But, oh, that was a little shooting star. I'll have a look in a second once I've caught up with the chat, but keep up the awesome spotting. I appreciate that there. Only alien satellite is the Black Knight satellite. Well, this is, I'm not sure if the Black Knight is more, it's not so much a specific one, but just more of a concept, you know, the idea of that. I know there are reportedly images of it, and could very well be, but I think it's very likely that civilization would have. Earth has been screaming that it has life for 2 billion years there. Oh, tiny one centre screen there. Good one. Is that Elegos? Where are we? Oh, yeah, there it is. I couldn't see that one. It took me a while. I've got a massive screen. I couldn't see it.
Zoom mode activated.
Good spotting there. The old space worms there. Oh, you, Christine, spotted the shooting star as well. I do love it. This, you have to forgive the camera. This is not its best. It's having a bit of a wobble at the minute. I can't figure out why it's doing it. We'll have to figure it out. But, you know, maybe it's the temperature it's having a sulk. But, yeah, right. We need to see whatever this is. Probably a satellite at the minute. We can't see otherwise yet. But we need to see it do something strange. We need to see it drop dead. No, we need to stop dead, sorry. Change its course, change its speed, its trajectory there. That will tell us that it is not one of the many, many satellites up there, but it is, it's not one of the many satellites up there. Oh, look, there's another one coming up the rear, look. So we need to see them change their course. Because satellites said they can't stop dead, they can't change their course, their speed, their trajectory. But the skies are alive. How are these ones getting light at this time of night now? Because we said before, it's the sun. This is us on the Earth here. We're on this side. So the sun's around here. It's light. Sun goes round. The light can't get to us. It's dark for us on the surface. But those things that are off the surface, they've still got a direct line of sight to the sun. They're reflecting that light back down off of them to us from the sun. You know, they're making that connection. But as the night goes on, the sun goes round. So the objects to reflect the light have to be further out to still have that direct line of sight. And then basically at a point of night, you know, they can't. They're just directly in the Earth's shadow. That's why we're seeing much less at this hour. But we are still seeing some. So are they really far out to be getting that light? Or are they something a little bit stranger there? And why is it in the depths of winter we don't get to see any? Oh, there we go. Did you see that? Was that enough on the screen for you guys? It was, there's my cursor. It was like here. That was a good little one there. And I'm an alien newbie here. Can you tell me what the grid is for, please? The grid is bingo, Agent X. So it's an Alan bingo there. When you see a grey, stamp it off, and always drop in energy. I love it. I do appreciate it, and I do appreciate you asking and sharing your knowledge tonight as well there. So hopefully we'll see you again soon with those ones there. Good catch with those ones, guys. And oh, what is the camera system? Oh, it's just a Sony A7. It's a very old one. The real trick is the lens. It's getting enough light in, but whilst trying to get a big enough field of view there. It took me a long time to work that one out. Oh, one below there, good spot. Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. There, and on the right, good spot in there. Algos there. Were they getting brighter? So sometimes it does look like they can do it, and we definitely do see that occasionally. And again, it's an anomaly because remember, it's reflecting light. So what's causing it to get brighter? Well, the only way that that can happen is if its angle is changing. So, you know, if we've got it flying up there like that, you can see how it's getting darker, and maybe it's getting more surface area to the reflection, maybe. But sometimes, you know, they do act just a little bit strangely, don't they? C2, oh, large satellite there of Agent X. Where was that? Did we zoom in? Is it the delay? Did I catch it in time there, X? And but the brightness can be a bit of a strange or gold colour. Again, reflecting light. Why are we getting such a range of colours if it's just reflected sunlight? Why are most of them white, as you would expect, and then some of them are deep greens or blues, or even oranges there? It's very, very interesting there. Oh, under the letter F. Which way is that one? I don't tend to zoom in unless they do something weird, but it's a bit quieter now. Like that one's just down there. So maybe we can zoom in on a couple of those. In fact, I think, oh my God, time is flying tonight. I do want to stay on longer, but it is now 1:30 in the morning. It's 28 minutes past. So we'll wind ourselves up for the 1:30 there. So guys, if you've not already given us a sub or a follow there, do make sure you do that, and hopefully it will give you a notification when we go live, because we're on pretty much every night. So clear nights, as this week is expected to be a good run of clear nights. So we're doing this, the live UFO search here from heart of crop circle country, but if it is those cloudy, rainy nights, then we do an alien radio signal hunt too. So we're always looking for the phenomena, hanging out and chatting about your experiences there. Oh, zigzag movement living, that is the gold standard. It's incredibly rare, but that is what we need. Because there's no disputing that. If we see that, that is 100% ET flying by there. Oh, it's 9:29 there. I forget about the old time difference. Yeah, I mean, we were doing this quite late into the evening in the summer, but I've just worn myself out now. I'm getting old with it there. And Rob, thank you for it. I really do appreciate that. But again, it's nature and it's you guys that make it there. And Kez there, I look forward to joining you again. So I look forward to having you all in as well, guys. You've been a pleasure. We've made so many new friends tonight. I'm very grateful of that one. I'm looking forward to catching up with you all there. Drew, have a good night. Oh, thank you, Drewski, and you too there. James coming in with the likes. Do appreciate that one. And and as it's there, Reddit and Discord. So we have, guys, we've got a Discord is the main. We do have a Reddit, although I did forget to check it. But we do have a Discord server. Links in the bio there, so you can keep in contact with us there. Not just the boring stream updates, but good little community. Lots of sightings, personal experiences and things like that shared there. Plus the UFO news, general chit chat and stuff like that. So if that's your sort of thing, join us there. It's only 8:29 where you are there. God, it's now 1:30 in the morning for us here. I love to see a 90-degree turn. Christine, that is the money one. That is what we're here for, and that is a full papers in the air moment for that. But the more we do it, the more those odds increase of us detecting that one as well. So anyway, I'm going to come off now, guys. You've been absolutely wonderful. Do appreciate you all your questions, share, just hanging out with us as well. The support in all various ways is very, very gratefully had there, because it is the community that I think makes it here. So they're awesome questions and experiences. But we'll be back on tomorrow night. We hope to see you all then as well there. So thanks again. Bye-bye, guys.